show me places I can get away from chaos and pain. Yeah, you're my medication. I don't need a doctor, need a vacation. Anywhere with you. I feel like somebody with you. We just met, but love overdue. Hope you feel the same as I do. 'Cause I feel like somebody with you. I've been walking without a coach. Got me out my head, hope this ain't too much. You shook me to my core, feels like my debut. Me and you walk into a different groove. You show me places I can get away from chaos and pain. Yeah, you're my medication. I don't need a doctor, need a vacation. Anywhere with you. I feel like somebody with you. We just met, but love overdue. Hope you feel the same as I do. 'Cause I feel like somebody with you.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, folks. I was just trying out a different setting, and once again, the other setting did not work like I wanted it to. Okay, hello, folks. Hi, happy. I guess you could say happy. I guess, right? The world's falling apart. It's fine. Happy Monday, I guess. Hello, happy Monday. Um, who all do we have here? We got Sir Bartholomew. Hello, Sir Bartholomew. We got Retro Asher. Hello, Retro Asher. Glad to see you here, Retro Asher. Sammy Lammy. Hello. Sammy Lammy, very glad to see you here, Sammy Lammy. Uh, let's see here. What was that? I just heard something on my screen. Um, let's see here. Very true. Okay. I'm sorry to miss Meowzord. Hello, Meowzord. I'm doing well, Sammy Lammy. How are you, by the way? Hello, London. Hello, London. Um, Tarbin. Hello, Tarbin. Sir Bartholomew. Luke. Hello. Macy. Ah. Okay. Hello, Macy. All right, guys. So we have a lot to talk about. A lot. Because a few things have happened, by the way, since the last time you saw me. That's okay. That is okay, Sammy Lammy, no problem. Just glad to have you around, Sammy Lammy. Uh, we have a lot to shit to talk about. A lot. There's like, I don't know if you guys noticed, there was like, a couple things happened the last few days that we'll be talking about. We'll also, of course, always got to do a presentation. So thank you, whoever just followed me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for following. So we'll do a brief presentation on Niccolo Machiavelli uh, about politics and power and things like that, which I think we'll probably have some healthy debate over. Also, I am working my damnedest to stop going, and what's the other thing I do? Uh, mm, all those little noises I make. It's just like I keep listening back to my live streams and I keep hearing all the uhs and I'm like, oh my god, I need to stop that. So you all have full right to yell at me and point out when I do the uhs because I'm trying to do something different so there are not as many uhs. All right? Excellent. London, how dare you? Do not say that I do not talk confidently. I just add a lot of filler words, London. Just a lot of filler words. Luke, have no idea what you're talking about, Luke. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. All right? All right. Love you all very much. Love you all very much. Thank you, Macy. Absolutely. I think what it is, yay, right, London. Hello, Dolly boy. I think what it is partially, folks, is that I'm not used to like talking to everyone like this. So, like, if I'm talking to myself, I normally do a lot of uhs and things. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, always, Macy. Always. Always. Okay. We can always roast the president, however much you guys would like. All right. So we got a lot to talk about. As always, folks, we're gonna skip the vitally important stuff. I mean, this is also vitally important. For a little presentation here on Niccolo Machiavelli that will play into which a few days ago I made a comment about how much I like Niccolo Machiavelli. You know what, Luke? I think that'd be a good idea. Wouldn't it be nice, folks, if you all had a shock collar and each of you had a button and you could shock me whenever I like said or whatever? That'd be great. I would actually highly like that, mainly because I enjoy pain. No, I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, so yep, there you go. Now, London, you're going to see here that that is sort of an oversimplification. All right, but I understand. Excellent, Dolly Boy. Very short. Hello, Hiyori. It's a very short read, Dolly Boy. Now, before we start this, folks, a few notes about this presentation. One, I used, okay, and you have to understand, I don't normally do this. I was curious, so I used AI. Now, I used AI to make like the first draft of it just to see how it would look because, laziness and all that. And it ended up not looking good at all. So then I massively edited it. So it's not even like AI anymore. The only thing AI about it is like the fact that the slides are in a certain order, I guess you could say. But AI is still very much not that great in a lot of ways. This is the only. I think this is no, this is actually Machiavelli. Anyway, so just I just wanted to be forward with all of you that I initially tried to use AI to make this, and it's still some like AI stuff about it that isn't great, and I hope you can see it, and I'll point it out. It's just interesting. Um, stop. Okay, no more ums. No, that's true, Macy, and don't worry, I'm not gonna do it in the future. It was just I was just curious because I've been using Canva, and Canva has an AI feature, and I was like, "Eh, I'll just see what happens if I use this." And I was not impressed. Okay? I also just don't like using AI. Alright, next, so let's talk here. So, we're gonna be talking about Niccolo Machiavelli, power politics and power. Now, I would like very much for us to discuss how politicians should act. What are good strategies, what are good tactics to use when it comes to gaining power, uh, and things like that. All right. So let's talk. Niccolo Machiavelli is it's not an exaggeration to say he was sort of the founder of political science, the founder of the study of government. Sort of political science started with him to a large extent. Now we could go back to the Greeks, but modern political science started with him. He is an extremely influential thinker. And he is very, very, very controversial. All right. So let's talk about him. And yes, you guys will not like a lot of what he has to say, but I do want us to talk about in a nuanced way because he's very misunderstood. And I think you can learn a lot from him, regardless of some of the things we may disagree with. Okay. So let me introduce you to Machiavelli here. Right. So he grew up in Renaissance Italy, the Italy of the Renaissance. He this it really influenced him, the fact that he grew up in Renaissance Italy, and it really influenced how he thought about things and his theories. So his experience in a very politically turbulent environment shaped his pragmatic approach to politics and forged a unique lens through which we can explore his political theory. So what was the environment he grew up in? Well, anyone who knows anything about Italian politics at this time period knows it was extremely chaotic, violent. There was like constant fighting between about there were about 50 city states. So about 50 different governments. Some of them were single cities, some of them owned more territory. They were almost constantly fighting with each other, conquering each other, trying to establish domains over each other. It was a constant struggle for survival amongst these city states. They were also very wealthy because of trade and things like that. So a lot of money, a lot of fighting. There's a reason why a bunch of famous art from the Renaissance comes from northern Italy is because that's where all the wealth was. That's where all this stuff was going on. And he grew up in that environment and he worked in that environment. And it really Italian, Macy, Italian. You'd be very funny though, Macy. It really impacted him. Okay, so he was born in Florence in 1469. He actually he was brilliant, all right? Brilliant, very intelligent guy. He served as a diplomat and military advisor to the Florentine Republic. So Florence had a republic at the time, and he served as an advisor, and he was very competent, and that gave him a ton of insight into how politics works, all right? And you're gonna see here, he thought that republics were the best form of government. We don't typically think of him that way, but he believed in a republic, which at the time would have been their version of a democracy. Now, I know it's not the exact same thing, but even though he had some pretty dark views, which you're going to see, he also was a very big fan of republics and he thought they were much better than kingdoms. All right. So, following this family that you may have all heard of before called the de Medicis, they returned to power in Florence in 1512 and kind of destroyed the Republic of Florence. He was exiled. And during that exile, he started writing and he wrote a bunch of He wrote The Prince, he wrote Discourses on Livy, he wrote a bunch of things that were very famous that we're gonna be talking about, and in 1527, he passed away, all right? He passed away, and he became a foundational figure in the study of political philosophy and political science. Okay. So, before we get into the dark stuff, 2 things that I want you to like about him, because you're gonna be very judgmental when you hear his worldview, but he's a very complicated figure. So, first of all, by every historical account that I'm aware of, he was completely incorruptible. Like, that is unheard of in Italy at the time. You could not bribe Machiavelli. When he was an advisor, no one could bribe him. As a matter of fact, he wouldn't accept any bribes. He actually died in relative poverty because he refused to accept bribes. He was incorruptible. He was deathly loyal to whoever he was, working as an advisor to, and remember, he wasn't himself a politician, he was an advisor. So he was like one of these few powerful people that would refuse to be bribed and was completely incorruptible, right? Also, something else. I know, Dolly Boy, it's crazy. We can and a lot of historians are like, "This can't be true." But almost all of them still agree because all the documents seem to indicate that he was completely incorruptible, and the fact that he died in poverty kind of shows that he was incorruptible. Okay. So, and he really did believe in having virtue as someone in power. Now, in he wrote a book called Discourses on Livy, all right? And he made clear that he believes republicanism to be the best form of government. So he thought that we should have a more democratic. He thought that democratic forms of government were better, and his whole discourses on Livy, which you don't talk about, we don't talk about much when it comes to Machiavelli, is defending republics and saying that they are better than tyrannies or better than a kingdom or a prince. All right, so very interesting guy. Really liked republics. He was way ahead of his time in that regard, and really liked and was very incorruptible. Now, that brings us to the stuff, some other stuff. He was heavily influenced by a group of people called the Medicis, and you should look them up. Very vicious political family. They were very pivotal in impacting in Renaissance Florence. Okay, and they really impacted his views on power, governance, and the intricate dynamics of the Italian city-states. There's actually a TV show, I think it's called Medici, about them. They lied, stealed, assassinated, bribed. They controlled Florence with an iron fist. Like I said, often doing assassinations, briberies, thefts. They were a very brutal family, but they kept power pretty well doing that. They're also the ones who funded correct, Dolly Boy. I believe, they're separate families, but they had a lot of relations with the Borgias. The Borgias were pretty similar to the Medicis. Yeah, they were pretty similar to the Medicis. So, yeah, that's another good series, by the way. Watch Borgias. It's like Game of Thrones, but real life Game of Thrones. Okay, and they're also the ones that funded a lot of the Renaissance artists that we see today, like Michelangelo, and things like that. Okay. So, what did he believe? What did he believe about politics? What did he believe? So, his ways of thinking, there you go, Raccoon Boyo. His ways of thinking signified a transformative shift towards a way of viewing politics called realism. Okay. Which prioritizes effectiveness and empirical observation about what's the right thing to do in a government. And this really contrasted with earlier ideas of governance, which were focused on idealism. And so, what do these two things mean? So, idealism is where you rule and emphasize moral principles, virtues, and perfect social structures, trying to create a perfect society. You rule virtuously based off moral principles. You really only act off moral principles and virtuous principles, kind of like Plato's Republic. Okay. And a lot of idealists, they believe in inherent right and wrong, regardless of the outcomes, right? So, idealism, running a government in a moral way, virtuously, et cetera, et cetera. And most of the time, this was linked to Christianity at this time, sort of a Christian idealist government. Machiavelli, after years of experience as an advisor in government, said no. He said that's not how politics works. And as a matter of fact, if you're too idealistic, it's immoral to do that because you're not going to be able to do what you set out to do. So he was a realist. He said that politics is about what works to gain and keep power, not what is morally good. A ruler cannot accomplish good things if they do not have power to begin with, and the ends justify the means. So, I know we're going to get into, I understand he kind of like, well, doesn't really matter. You need power. You better do whatever you can to maintain power. Otherwise, you're not even going to be able to do things. Right. So, okay. The ends justify the means. It doesn't matter what you do to accomplish things as long as you get to that accomplishment. So, before we get into the next part, remember, there is a difference between the tactics you use to accomplish something and what you're seeking to accomplish, right? He does not talk about what a ruler should strive to achieve. He is talking about how rulers should strive to achieve what they want to achieve. And his first idea here is that the most important thing in politics is having and maintaining power. Okay? Okay. And that if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything anyway. Correct, Dolly Boy. And this is where it gets interesting because he wrote this book, very famous book called The Prince in 1532, and it was a sort of a guide for a ruler to use for effective governance. Now, here's the thing: this was meant as a guide for kings, for dictators, essentially, for people who had royal blood and who were not in republics. This was meant as a guide for like kings, queens, princes, people who had a hereditary right to a throne. Remember, that is not his favorite form of governance. That is not his favorite form of governance. His favorite form of governance is a republic, but he wrote this as a guide for rulers of dynastic king and queen states. So, if he had been talking about a republic, he would have written this differently. I can guarantee you that. So what we're as we're talking about the prince, remember, you have to apply his ideas to our current situation. He believed in working within the system, right? Within a system in a particular way. So the system he's talking about is quite different. He would have said something much different if we had been talking about a republic or a democracy. And you'll see what I mean. So a lot of times people only think of what he said in The Prince, but he was only referring to authoritarian regimes that were dynastic, okay? But it's still an important thing to read because okay, so let's go on here. What are the objectives of governance? What are the objectives of governance? So after a politician gets into power, whether it be in a democracy or whether it's a king in a monarchy, he said that there are three goals here, three goals for maintaining power. One is acquiring power. If you have something you want to achieve, you need to acquire power, right? So so he called this acquisition. You have to secure power through various means. That included military force, alliances, manipulation, lying, coercion, assassination, anything you could possibly to get to power. All right. So first, you have to acquire power through whatever means necessary in order to acquire control. Then you need to consolidate that power after you've gotten it, which means you need to strengthen your position by eliminating threats, reinforce control through legal and political frameworks, and instill a sense of security amongst the populace. You also have to make sure that they like you, all right? That they have a good view of you, that your people like you, okay? Okay, then you've got maintenance. Maintenance is when you focus on preserving your power once it's been acquired, and this requires that you manage your resources, you craft good public opinion of yourself, manage political alliances effectively, and that ensures stability and loyalty. Okay. Okay, so that sounds kind of rough, right? He's saying, do whatever you can to acquire, consolidate, and maintain power. And he did this, remember, not as an armchair theorist, but as someone who actually observed what politicians were doing. Now, so next to this, right, he had two ideas, virtu and fortuna. So a ruler had to be virtuous, which does not mean actually like moral, it means the appearance of virtue, and had to recognize that luck plays a role. So what does that mean? So you have to there are things you can do that you have control over. You have control over your virtue, which is how people perceive you. Are you perceived as being virtuous? Are you perceived as having strength? Are people afraid of you enough that they're not going to go against you? Okay? And it also includes though how people view you. Do they like you? So you have to have people like you, but at the same time, you have to be able to use your power to prevent anyone from challenging you. Sometimes secretly, sometimes not, depending on what is necessary. So it was more of a, hey, this is how people get powerful. Yeah, Dolly Boy, it's both. Now this is confusing, but yes, okay, yes. Um, well, I'll explain. So he said, what should a ruler do in order to do this? Okay, they have to use cunning strategies. That means like clever tactics without worrying about morality. Because remember, to him, if you want to accomplish something, even if it's really good, the way to do that isn't to be idealistic and weak. You need to get power to begin with, and then to enact that thing, you actually need to do things. You'll need power, right? So you need to use cunning strategies, whether depending on the scenario, that includes things that might not be considered moral. Okay, that includes things that might not be considered moral, like lying or assassinating someone. Now, remember, he's talking about an autocracy here, but he would have a different view. Well, you'll see. Okay. You also need to manage public perception. You better make sure you look good to the people, regardless of what you're doing behind the scenes. You better make sure you look good to the people. And if people don't love you, it is much better to be, it's okay to be feared. And actually, being feared is better than being loved. If you can't have both, it's better to be feared than to be loved. Okay. He also went on to say that you need to make good, effective decisions with sound judgment and foresight. Okay, well, that's obvious, right? Okay, next part here. All right. So, what are three traits that a leader should have or a politician should have? One, decisiveness. You better make your decisions pretty quickly. You better make them informed and you better make them decisive. Okay. Two, pragmatism. You better be able to adapt to changing scenarios, right? You better adapt to changing scenarios or you will fall. Okay. Like you better be pragmatic about the situation you're in or you will fail. All right. So you can't have a singular view of the world. Think Democratic Party. So you won't, if you're not pragmatic about your situation, you will not succeed. Lastly, you need to be ruthless. Okay. You need to make some very difficult choices and be unyielding about them and make sure that you are being ruthless, that if you are acting in a way that is very strong, okay, even if it might be viewed as immoral. Okay, let's go to this next one here. Um, I just did. Again, I'm trying hard not to. Okay. The balance of prudence and decisiveness. So successful rulers have to strike a balance. Hello, weird amorphous blob. Between prudence and decisiveness. These qualities are crucial for effective governance, ensuring wise decisions while also demonstrating a strength necessary with a lead. We are weird amorphous blob, okay, with the fourth authority. So this is a good way to summarize it. He was all about effectiveness in politics, not morality, effectiveness. So being bold, strategic, adaptable, and sometimes ruthless, rather than being good in a Christian sense, focused on would would allow a ruler to focus on results and public perception. Okay? So, all right. Now, here's what I wanted to talk about with all of you. I'm sorry, I haven't been saying hi to people out there. Hello for everyone who's come in. Machiavelli's Machiavelli was all for. There was like a few chapters in his book about using deception, manipulation, bribery, assassination, things like that in an effort to maintain power within an autocracy, by the way, not within a republic. He argues that rulers may need to employ cunning and cruelty and prioritize stability and power over traditional moral values for effective governance. Now, remember, how might this apply in a republic or a democracy? He cared deeply about maintaining stability in republican governments. So he would have said that in a society that has limits, a government that has limits, like the government that has limits, excuse me, and a government that has legal limits, like a republic, you need to act within the confines of that government. All right. So he is not saying that, you should violate, if you're in a republic or a democracy, violate laws left and right, violate laws. No, he is saying that within what you're able to do, you should be ruthless about it. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Like, you should definitely, even if, like, so in a democracy, even, you should be ruthless within the bounds of what is allowed and what is acceptable under public perception. But remember, in this book, he was talking about an authoritarian king queen. So obviously, and if you're an authoritarian, you can get away with doing things like assassinations and stuff like that. It's not going to go as well for you in a republic to do that. Now, we could debate that, but okay. So just understand that a lot of people misinterpret him when he talks about these things. So what's the legacy of Machiavelli here? He has had a massive legacy. Like I said, he was the founder of political scientists and governments on government studies of government. He was basically the founder of modern scientific political science, and his worldview remains remarkably relevant today. He's one of the most studied political thinkers in history, and he is still considered by many academics as one of the most realistic viewers of politics. What do I mean by that? I mean, he's one of the ones that got it the most right in terms of how, if you just look at methods for maintaining power and achieving power and getting things done, he is the pretty good at knowing that. All right. But again, you have to put it in context. So if you cannot apply the same things he said about a kingdom or a thing to like a democracy. Okay. So, all right. I'm going to pause there. Uh, yes. So, okay, correct, guys. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Raccoon Boy. 100%. So, guys, let's talk about this for a second. I'm going to put my face up. So that was Machiavelli. I know I didn't go into much detail there at the end. Yep. Weird amorphous blob. You know it. Weird amorphous blob. Okay. You know it. So, where's my face? Where'd my face go? So here's the thing. He sounds extremely brutal, but the point I was making, I believe it was a few days ago here, is that when it comes to politics within a democracy, if you want to get things done, you cannot be idealistic about it. I know this sounds bad, but the Democratic Party, for example, is horrific. Okay. They refuse to do anything, partially because they've been bribed to death. They've refused to. So how do we deal with that then? How do we deal with a government that is massively bribed? Do we just sort of stand back and go, "Oh, well, we have to be civil about it, and we have to sort of be idealistic about it and be nice and things like that." Do we? Or should we do whatever it takes to ensure what's best for everyone is met? And do I mean like violence? No, within the system, right? Within the system, be vicious, right? Do vicious advertising. If let's say a progressive president were elected, you could get in front of a camera and start listing even your fellow politicians, your fellow Democratic politicians, start listing who's donating to them and ask their voters, hey, send them a message. Maybe try to convince them to vote yes on universal health care. You got to be vicious. Okay. That's in order to accomplish the end. Now, this is complicated. Uh, Doug, partially. Yes, partially. He's Tory in liberal fancy dress. Yeah, thank exactly, Jonas. Yeah, no, Outer Signal. I'm not gonna. You're outsmarting me here, Outer Signal. You are right. That is one very, very clever. One perspective on Machiavelli I think is very interesting. That being said, it is true that what he said is very good, right? It's very useful, even if it is a critique. But you're right. Okay, now so, all right. In your groove, problem is the system is working as designed. Public opinion currently has zero impact on policy coming out of Congress. Yeah, you're right in your groove. And so, if we want to change that, right? Because remember, Machiavelli does not talk about the goals that a politician has. So, if we as political people want to change that, what are our methods for changing that? It's not to be nice, right? It is to use, is to be ruthless about it and to make sure that we achieve things that's best for everyone. You see what I mean? Um, yeah. And got to be honest, folks. Yeah, I know. I totally got you, Outer Signal. I got to be honest, folks. Like, what did Trump do? I am not a fan of Trump, but Trump was a Machiavellian without even knowing it. By the way, the word Machiavellian doesn't really mean what we think it means. Okay, it doesn't. Um, because well, Machiavellian, the word typically means someone who's like a sociopath or something like that. That is not really what Machiavelli meant, even if it may seem like that. Okay. Regardless. Um, so like, okay. But you're right. Our voices are so small compared to super PAC money. That is right in your groove, which makes you wonder then what can we do? Right. So it's just something to think about. We like to think maybe we shouldn't lie. For example, maybe a politician on our side shouldn't lie. I know a lot of liberals, especially, will go crazy about a lie that our side makes and a lie that the other side makes, and they should definitely point out when there's lies. But it's also like, do you want to win? Okay, and I'm not advocating for lying left and right because there's another issue to this, of course, folks. And there's another issue to this. The another issue here is, well, public perception, because remember, you're also supposed to ensure good public perception. There you go, Luke. Thank you, Luke. A good way to do this. Don't fold like a lawn chair for the sake of bipartisanship. Play hardball. Be obstructionist, okay? Right, Meowzord. Absolutely. Decorum is an illusion. And that's what drives me crazy, guys. Decorum is often a way to stifle change and dissent. It just is. Okay? It just is. If you constantly obsessed about decorum, you're never going to ask, well, why is this person upset? What should we do for change? Okay? Trump did not lie to get into power. Yeah, you see what I mean? Trump lied. Trump was manipulative. Trump did backstabbing, political backstabbing, right? And he didn't do it competently. He didn't do it competently at all. Like, it wasn't like he was like, I'm going to do Machiavelli's plan. I'm going to do Machiavelli's plan. No, he's not that smart, but it worked, right? So, all right. And this is a problem, though. The problem here is that you can never be certain that the person you're letting use these tactics will end up doing what's good for people, right? Because you might just end up with an authoritarian. Let's be honest. If you let someone get into office that does that, so you better be pretty sure that when you're okay with someone doing those things, that they are in fact going to advocate for people once they get into office, right? But regardless, That's how politics works, unfortunately. Exactly. Fight with honor, lose with dignity. Correct, Meowsword. And remember, folks, a lot of the violence. Yep, totally. Outer signal. Totally. Yeah, exactly, Dolly Boy. And that's why, we can be idealistic about it. The problem is that's the issue with politics. You'll never be 100% sure, and power is very corrupting. But we've had presidents, for example, in the past that have used, oh God, I'm doing the, sorry, who have used the bully pulpit and things like that while being within a system without breaking the law or anything. Okay, FDR, Teddy Roosevelt, there've been a few others. Lincoln kind of did some things like that. My point is, um, there are people like that who can function without breaking the law, who do not become dictatorial. Okay, for the most part. All right. Yeah, Mithril, and that's the thing, guys. The right wing, Mithril, you're right. The right wing has tons of people who are Machiavellian. They do. Uh, what concession do you mean, Raccoon? Boy, oh, you mean the concession to like uh y- being hard on with politics and things like that? I get you. Okay, I got you. I understand. Yep, totally. Roger Stone, guys, the right wing has tons of people who think this way. They really do. And it's well known that the right wing has typically better consultants than the left wing, than the Democrats do. And by the way, a lot of the really good left wing lefties in history that have accomplished a lot have been somewhat Machiavellian in their approach. Yeah, Roger Stone came up in the Nixon era. And okay, no, Raccoon Boy, I should, you're Raccoon Boy, and you're actually right. I should phrase that, guys. I want people to tell the truth. You don't have to lie to get where you're going, right? But you better still be strong with politics. That is a very fair point, Raccoon Boyo. Okay, that is a very fair point. You better still be strong about it. Okay, like you can lie selectively or you know whatever. But this is where you need someone who is also moral, but also a Machiavellian. Okay, I don't know how to phrase it. All right, I'm not sure how to do it. But yeah, Raccoon Boy, that is fair. That is fair, Raccoon Boy, and you can disagree with me, Raccoon Boyo. It's just a matter of, especially in this day and age. Here's the thing, folks. If you have a republic with virtue, if you have a democracy with virtue, where everyone is sort of adhering to unspoken rules about decorum and stuff, that's great. I highly recommend that. But there's a problem with that, right? Because if anyone starts breaking that decorum and that rule of engagement, you better start breaking it too. Otherwise, they're going to beat you every single time. And that's what's happening now. Yeah, I know, Dolly Boy, but I should say someone who balances out taking strong action and withholding action. Yep, absolutely, Luke. Absolutely. Yep, there you go, outer signal. Okay. Yeah, you're right. There's an Overton window for scheming. You're right, Malzord. And that's what Machiavelli said, guys. Like you can't do a bunch of scheming if it's gonna destroy the public's perception of you, especially in a democracy. So you gotta be careful about this. I'm not saying like, just do it willy-nilly. You have to be careful about it. And I actually kind of agree with Raccoon Boy. I am not for lying, but I think you can frame things in a way where you can say, okay, well, we can debate this. Okay, guys. Um, that's true. I don't know enough about him. I don't know enough about him. I really don't. And it might be that that is a tactic also. No, Raccoon Boy, we do not. Okay. And this is what I said, Raccoon Boy. This is my fear. Okay. You're completely right. We don't want to end up with like a Stalin or we don't want to end up with a Stalin or a Nixon or anything like that. Which is why I'm saying that one of the problems with this way of doing things is that you can never be too sure. You can never be too sure if the person that, let's say, like a president or someone who is using these tactics will end up doing things that are good for people. That's problematic, right? So we better choose good people. Let's put it that way, who are willing to fight in this way. At the same time, Raccoon, Boyo, if the other side is doing it, how can we win if we don't do it too? You see what I mean? Like it's such a disadvantaged position to be in, and I don't want Stalin. I don't. But I also don't want a fascist. And I would much rather have someone in office who at least might fight for the people than have someone like a Trump. Yep, you can also use power to change that, okay? Yeah, that's fair. No, transparency is good. Guys, I'm all for transparency. I didn't mean to use lying as a specific example here. Like, if I were, let's say, if I were running for office, I'm not going to be, but if I were running for office, I think that just being transparent and like I said, you can be strong and be transparent, like calling out the elites, being like, this one's corrupt. Chuck Schumer is corrupt. This person is corrupt. Here, look, here's who's donating to their campaigns. You don't have to lie to be strong. All right. You don't. Yeah, Luke, but that's one of the dangers. And my thought here, folks, is what is the alternative? Right? What is the alternative if the other side is doing it? Yeah, Malzard, absolutely. Absolutely. And this was why, folks, I think it would be so Meowsert says it's like playing a board game slash Monopoly. They're scheming within the game, but when you start scheming beyond outside the game, it starts to rub people the wrong way. Trump's approval is shit because he's extending beyond the obviously scheming. Correct. Correct. Okay, Meowsert, absolutely. And guys, Meowsert actually brings up a good point. Uh, okay. Meowsort, yeah, yeah, Jonas. They don't care about corruption. They're willing to use the corruption to gain power. I'm not saying we should. I don't think we should, but all right. Meowsert makes a good point here, guys. There's this been idea, and China is a very long existing civilization, and they've had this sort of Machiavellian idea for a while. They have this idea of harmony, and I'm not defending the Chinese government here. I'm just saying it's interesting how they overlap. The idea of harmony. Sometimes you got to do rough things. Sometimes you got to do good things in order to maintain this balance. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm sorry. Who is BE? I'm having a mind blank here. Who is BE Raccoon? Who is BE? All right. Yeah, exactly, Mithra. What do you end up using the power you gain for? Because, folks, I'd gladly have a fighter who's willing to be manipulative and crap in to gain power if they give people universal health care, housing, you know, pull us out of all these wars and crap. So this is just a framework for thinking, folks. I would real Bad Empanada, interesting. I don't know much about Bad Empanada, and I am not sure what views would be Raccoon Boyo. And we would have to think about this in the framing of any given scenario that we are dealt. And maybe we'll do like a D&D thing in regards to a D&D thing in regards to like a political D&D where we have like a scenario and then we all have to kind of think what we do about it. So, Wrecking Boy, what is Bad Empanada's views on what I'm saying here? What is his approach to this? I should ask. I'm curious. Okay, so guys, thank you very much. Okay, how can we organize? I don't know. Look, we should though. We should. Maybe we could do it through Discord. Maybe I'll talk to London a bit about it. But again, this is just one way of viewing it, and I wanted to explain why I said that stuff about Machiavelli earlier. This does not mean I am pro like an assassination or lying all the time or anything like that, but being strong, right? At least being strong in politics, bluffing if you need to, you know, things like that. And maybe calling your opponent and being like, "Hey, I am going to reveal who your donors are publicly unless you do A, B, or C." Oh, I agree, Raccoon Boy. Anti-nationalism is fantastic. I am very anti-nationalist. So, yay, Dolly Boy, thank you. Guys, by the way, so yeah, if we get one super chat jester hat, you're gonna love it. I got a new jester hat. It's the same as the one I had before. but it isn't stained and there's bells on it. Casual Review brought to you by Palantir. I wish, Luke. Geez, I'd be making a lot of money if Palantir was funding me. I'm just kidding. I don't want that. Okay. All right, guys. All right. So thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. Right. Raccoon Boy. Oh, by the way, I'm going to look up Adam. I don't think I've ever even heard of Adam Panana. I'll look up Adam Panana. Of course, I'm anti-nationalist too. I unfortunately don't see how we're going to get away from national, like, and I don't know how we're going to get away from nation states anytime soon at all. But yeah, I am definitely anti-nationalist. Yep. Yeah. There you go. Outer Signal. Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie was a very strong fighter. He was. Okay, Mamdani is a good example. No federal government will ever let a city arrest a foreign president, and he knows it. But there you go. He's insisting he will arrest Bibi Netanyahu. I doubt he ever would, honestly, because you can't. I don't think the federal government would ever allow him to do that. So that might be a bit of a lie on his part. I got to tell you, but it does reveal his strength. All right. Thank you, Macy. Yeah, we need to organize. Okay, so just a thought. And by the way, this is mainly for politicians that we elect. There are other ways to organize on a grassroots level and things like that. This is just one way to view how our side's politicians should behave if they want us to win. And what's the good of two strong legs if you only run away? What is the good if the finest voice if you've nothing good to say? What is good strength of muscle if you only push and shove? Yeah, Mithril. Yeah, I love that Mithril. Okay. Okay, guys. So yeah. Okay, so all right. Let us see here. So that's my presentation on Machiavelli, just an interesting approach to politics we can think about. And honestly, folks, I honestly think that if a politician really did care about getting us the people of the United States the things they want, they would fight they would fight for it. Okay. All right. So there we go. There's your presentation. If we get to 3 super chats, folks, jester caller, we only need 2 more. If you're over on, can you hear the bells? Can you hear the bells? Can you hear the bells? Am I giving myself whiplash? Can you hear the bells? Okay. I know it's kind of stiff still, but um anyway, sorry, I'm eating some food. So, next thing here. We got a lot to talk about, folks. So we all heard what happened, I'm guessing the last couple days. Yep, I agree, Sammy Lammy. So we were just talking about like what a politician should do to get into power and then keep power and then how to fight. But we shouldn't just rely on politicians. We also need to do grassroots organizing and things like that. Okay. So next thing here, we all heard what happened the last 2 days, right? I suppose some of you, the ones who came to the After Dark stream, uh, Rakumboyo. Sorry, Rakumboyo says there are two kinds of anti-nationalism: national essentialism and true anti-nationalism. Unfortunately, a lot of American progressives end up saying things like we should do good things for stuff. So, Raccoon Boyo, I'm honestly curious. I'll look up his stuff. Uh, Raccoon Boyo, that's fair. I'll look up his stuff, Raccoon Boyo. I am curious. What is his plan for getting rid of nation states? It's an honest question. How does he think we're going to get rid of nation states? Like I'm curious. I would love that. But if he has a great idea, some genius plan for ending nation states, I would love to hear that. I really would. Okay, because I do not like nations and I don't want them to exist. Okay, but I'll look them up. American Against Fear. The U.S. is now a pirate force. Yeah. Um. So, all right, guys. Right. So a couple things have happened. First of all, oh, I got you, weird amorphous blob. I got you. Okay. Right. So, okay. Okay, the enduring relevance of Machiavelli. Machiavelli's political theories remain essential for understanding modern politics. So, okay, so all right. So the couple things happened. There were two shooting, massive shootings. Oh, we got a new chatter here. What do we got here? Thank you. Store gross. I have a genuine question. I am a Christian and tend to lean more towards the right. 9 times out of 10, I do not agree with left-sided politics. What baffles me is that the left was and is marching for Palestine while appearing largely silent, such as other issues such as Sudan, Africa. By the way, Storgos, welcome. By the way, please stay around. If we disagree, Storgos, please stay around anyway, okay? Because we would love to have some right wing people in here, okay? Just regardless. I do not agree with left-sided politics. What baffles me is that the left was and is marching for Palestine while appearing largely silent on other issues such as Sudan, Africa, the UK, Australia, and others. Am I missing marches or movements? I am not here to attack anyone, only to seek a thoughtful response. Nope, that is absolutely no problem. You still there, Sorgos? I'll respond, but are you still there? I want to make sure that you didn't leave before I answer. So, let me know if you're still here, and then I will answer. I just want to make sure you're listening. Uh, Okay, excellent, Storgos. Fantastic. So we are we so I actually agree with you. I don't know what else to say, Storgos. I agree with you. I think Palestine is and very important. It is a genocide, right? I Storgos have covered Sudan. I have. I have covered Sudan. I have not been as good at covering multiple things. But there is only a limited amount of airtime that people can give, you see what I mean, to various things, but you're right, there is definitely there are a lot of issues that and we don't, the left wing doesn't cover all of them as much. It's the right wing, by the way, doesn't really talk about them at all, I gotta tell you. At least the left wing does talk about these things a bit, but you're right, there does seem to be a disproportionate thing. I will say, though, in America, one of the reasons we talk so much about Israel is because they are outer signal. You're stealing my thunder. That's good. Is that we massively fund Israel. The American government massively funds Israel. We like our tax dollars go to funding them and the genocide they're doing against the Palestinians. So I think a large reason why they get talked about a lot is because we are directly funding them. And that is very upsetting to a lot of Americans and Europeans that our money is being used to kill people overseas. All right, if that makes sense. So I suspect that's why, but that is a good question, and I don't really have a full. Yeah, it is the 51st state. Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, those struggles, it's a human issue. The right wing is bad on it, but we both sides could be better. Let's be honest. Okay. First, oh, we had a lot of first time chatters. Hello, Amy too. I think a big part. I think. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to count up on all these comments now. I think a big part of it is media coverage. People might care more about Europe and North America because it feels closer to home, if that makes sense. Whereas we're more distance from Africa. That's very well. We're actually not much farther from Africa. I mean, we're not much farther from Africa than we are from Gaza. Let's put it that way. I do think the media does play a role in this, absolutely, and there's always been sort of a bias against Africa in the media because they're black. I'm just to be honest, I'm just stating it outright, okay? And that's a big issue. Yeah, there's also a lot of cultural attachment to Israel, all right? No problem, Storgos, and thank you, Amy. Things have been going bad in Sudan since forever. Yep, you're totally right. You're totally right there. Yeah, there you go, Jonas. You're right, Jonas. I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. Ukraine is still like the number one most reported, probably. Globalize the enchiladas. Oh, yeah, you're right, Raccoon Boy. The West is definitely funding the Sudan stuff through a proxy, which makes it easier, I guess. Okay. All right. Can people still hear me, by the way? Good people still hear me. I'm just making sure because there was a little thing that popped up that said that the live stream was interesting, that the live stream was cut off on YouTube. I wonder if people in YouTube can hear me. Interesting. Okay. Well, whatever. Uh, hopefully it'll guess come back on. Yeah, big thank you. Yeah, please, for the folks in here that are right wing, please stay in here. Thank you, guys. I know the people on Twitch. Oh, you do? Okay, excellent. For some reason, the YouTube chat said it cut out. All right, so Storgos, I worry heavily on how the right wing is going extremely far right. It's almost suicide, and it's almost suicidal leftist politics. Right. Policies. I personally think the UK is intent on throwing itself off a building, regardless of left or right. I disagree with you, Storgos. I think the right wing is more of a threat than the left, but okay, that's fair. I would like to know what you mean by you think it's destroying itself. No, you're right. We need to cut funding to UAE so they stop funding. Yeah, you guys are right. Uh, no, the Starmer is by no means left, correct, Weirdamorphous, but Starmer is not left wing. And I will say that Store, forgive me, I'm just going to call you Store, or yeah, Store. Uh, there is a very big misconception that liberal, moderate politicians are left wing. They are not. Okay. Like Keir Starmer is not like far left. Okay. Uh all right. All right, you guys. Okay. So guys, what has been happening the last few days? Now that we've gotten that off, right? Let's talk. We had two shootings. Two shootings. Are any of us really surprised? I mean, uh God, I don't even know what to say. We're like is there anything really to say? I'm sorry. You know, there was a shooting at a massive shooting at Brown University. Then there was a shooting in Australia in which many more died. Um, hey, they'll thank you, Storgos. Yeah, we try to maintain some decorum here. Let's put it that way, Storgos. But honestly, Storgos, you are probably the most respect. Do we all agree in chat that Storgos has been one of the most respectful people to come in here that disagrees with us? And we try, Storgos. We try to maintain calm and like have good dialogue with people, but most people don't want that. So really, thank you, Storgos, for being talking with us in this way. Okay. All right. So yeah, goat chatter. Storgos there. All right. So we there were two shootings. And guys, I if you watch my After Dark stream, I don't even know what to say about it. There was a shooting at Brown University, and the first thing we uh the first thing we I saw media doing was saying things like, well, Brown University should have better security. Brown University didn't do security very well. Okay. Like, okay. And like, what do they want? What do they what I really am gonna lose my mind. What do they want? Okay, do we want like every school to become a bunker? Do we want every school to become like a military base? Every public space has to have like an armed police force protecting it. It makes me want to like lose my mind. It really does. That after this happens, some of the first things you hear are what went wrong with security. No mention of the guns, or at least very little mention of the fact that this happens all the time, and it's because there are guns everywhere. And one of those students experienced. This is the second shooting they've experienced. Okay, I mean, all right. I don't even know what to say about it. Obviously, it is insane that this keeps happening. It is moronic we don't do anything about it. It is infuriating. It is infuriating. And we still don't really have the person who did it, by the way. Okay. Uh, yep. Yeah, I know, Meowzord. Like, okay. So just something to think about. I'm gonna lose my mind. And guys, uh yeah, the guns got out on their leash. You can't blame them for it. Come on, man. Right, right. Um, like, okay. I don't even know what to say about it. It's are we gonna just let this keep happening? Of course we are. Of course we are. We're just gonna let it keep happening. We're keep gonna let keep continue letting people get massacred. You know, those students were taking their finals. Those students were taking their finals when this happened. We have people in chat right now that are in college and just finished their finals, and this could have been them lying dead on the ground. I'm not trying to scare them. I'm just making a point here. If we think that this isn't eventually going to affect people that we know, we are stupid if we think that. It will eventually affect all of us. Eventually all of us will know someone. There are already multiple people who have been in multiple shootings. Who have been in multiple shootings. It's insane. Okay? I don't know what to say else to say about it. It is the dumbest thing imaginable, and it's one of those things like talking about Gaza that makes me really just want to go like lose my mind. I don't know what else to say about it. How dumb are we? Really? Okay. Meanwhile, over in Australia, in a very rare occurrence, by the way, in Australia, these things do not happen nearly as often in Australia as they happen here. Okay. We had another mass shooting. And now I have not yet read who did this or why they did it. I know it was an anti-Semitic attack. Disgusting. 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 Obviously, right? Slaughtering anyone for any reason bad, but but especially there seems to be an especial grossness to slaughtering people because human beings because you don't like who they are. Real gross. Horrific. Now, yeah, I wonder why, Hiyori. I wonder why you guys don't have many massacres as in the United States over there in the UK. All right. Okay. Now, I will say this, that shooting over in Australia, was it 15 people killed while trying to celebrate Hanukkah? The Festival of Lights, by the way, a very peace-loving festival, a festival of people just trying to have a good time. The shooter, when they turn, okay. That's cool, Raccoon Boy. That's a good one. And by the way, do we all hear who stopped the shooting? I just really want to emphasize this point. Before we all know what the right wing's going to say, do we know who stopped this shooting and saved tons of people's lives? A very I'm saying this on purpose, a stereotypically named Muslim man, Ahmad Ahmad al-Ahmad. Like he even has, okay, I'm making a point here. He has sort of a stereotypical name that you'd associate with someone who's Muslim, right? Ahmad. He's like the most stereotypical Muslim who now just saved all these people from death. And can you imagine, though, what the people on the right will likely be screaming about in regards to, and what Zionists will be screaming about in regards to this killing? Even though this is like the most Muslim ever. Okay, you get my point. You're right. It could be more Muslim if it were Muhammad. You get my point. Like, my point here is like the image, right? This is like a very stereotypical. Like, okay, um, please do, Raccoon Boy. You know I can't say it very well. Ahmed El Ahmed. I don't want to also mispronounce it, but like, okay, and guys, badass. He jumped on the guy. There's a video of it, and see if I can probably show it to you guys. Video of man stopping shooting. Yeah, Storgos, it is. And here we go. This is the shooter, and luckily I can show this to you because you don't actually see anyone get killed. Yeah, a genuine hero, like a genuine hero. And okay. All right, so let's take a look. So this is the guy doing the shooting, but the first A comes in the back of your throat like a gag reflex. Raccoon Boyle, never mind. I'm not going to say that it's not the After Dark stream. Okay, Raccoon Boyle, I will. Uh, I will take a look at this. All right. Uh, I mean, I'll try to pronounce it. You said, so Ahmed, like Ahmed, like that raccoon boy. If sorry if I'm doing it wrong. Ahmed Al Ahmed. Is that correct? All right. So here we go. This is the guy. Watch what happens. This is the guy doing the shooting.
You see the man in white there running up and tackling that suspected
Badass.
gunman. There is a
Hero.
struggle, and you can see he appears to wrestle what looks like a shotgun out of that man's hands. Now, the individual in white has not at this point been identified, but local leaders are hailing what they say were extraordinary acts of personal courage by people who
Ahmed,
just
is that
jumped
right? I'm
in
sorry,
at the
guys,
scene.
if I'm
It
being
is
rude.
very likely that
Nice,
that
nice,
man
nice. You
saved
did it.
some lives.
He also got shot twice in the attempt. Okay. Like he got okay. So you see what I mean? So I
By
mean,
appearing to
badass guy.
disarm
He got
that
shot
gunman.
twice doing
We know
this
that at least
and got
29 people were
injured doing
taken
it.
to hospital.
And look,
Among
he's
them
still
are
fighting.
two
He's still
police
fighting,
officers.
throwing stuff at
Authorities
the
are
guy.
saying police were on the scene and engaging in a gun battle with these shooters within just minutes. Police are
Well, I didn't know there was more than one. I literally didn't know there was more than one.
also saying that they found a car linked to the killed gunman, which does appear to contain improvised explosive devices. Now, the bomb squad there in Sydney
Okay.
is probing that vehicle.
He got
They are
shot by
looking
the
for
second
more
guy on the
clues.
bridge.
They are
Gotcha.
looking for more details about the motives. And Willie, a massive police investigation is now underway, but we can already say at this point.
Okay. With Ahmed, you're running into a different use issue. The H is a lot softer. It sounds like the sound you make after. You make after a refreshing gulp of water. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to try this later, guys. I'm sorry. I'll try it later.
That this is one of the worst gun
Ah,
massacres in Australian history.
We thank you for watching.
Ahmed.
And
Okay,
remember,
forgive me. Okay, I'll get better at this, guys. Um, so that guy was pretty cool, right? Regardless, absolutely disastrous 2 days. I'm so tired of all the death. I really am. All the murdering of each other for no reason. Okay. So those are the two things that happened the last 2 days. Obviously, really, thank you, Raccoon. Okay, I'll try better, Raccoon. Okay. So I'll take an A minus. Thank you, Raccoon. I will accept an A minus. Thank you. Yeah, that's I tried to learn Arabic once. But then I stopped because I was having all sorts of issues. I had to learn to read the script, and I'm an idiot. So well, maybe I'll figure it out sometime. Hello, pizza. I haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you here. So those are the things that happened the last 2 days. Australia already starting to trying to pass legislation to restrict guns almost immediately. But of course, we can't manage that here in the US no matter how many no matter thank you so much, Storgos. Really, thank you. Storgos, that gives us enough for me to put on the collar. Thank you. Thank you, Storgos, really. There we go. There you go, Storgos. Okay. You get to turn this lefty into a clown. I hope you're happy, Storgos. Just kidding. All right. Uh I look into not today. Okay, sure, Raccoon Boyle, I shall. All right. So that happened, folks. We had that disaster that occurred. Two of those more pointless slaughter. Um, and we're just gonna get back. It's just I don't know what else to say about it. It's so unbelievable and like comically bad, guys. It is so comically bad that we keep letting this happen, especially in the United States. All right. So
Weightless.
some other things to
I
talk
don't.
about here. Some other things to talk about here. We got boop, 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 boop. I had some other things I wanted to show you. Right, this is just
Truly,
so
I say
as a bit of a
unto
palate
you.
cleanser after talking about all this death and destruction. As a little bit of a palate cleanser here. You're right. You're right. We played around the edges, right, in your groove. It didn't fix much of anything. All right. So guys, over here is I'm going to quickly put my this back up. This is just really short. This is kind of a palate cleanser. I know what I think you'll all find this funny. This is called GOP Jesus. Now, for oh my, you're totally right. Thank you so much, Pizza, for the super chat. Okay, guys, we are at 4. If we get one more, I will put on the makeup. Okay, so yes, I actually have it in the queue, Matt Saigai, and we will finish watching it. But first, I'm going to go through the other stuff first. So this is a very brief video. Thank you so much, Jonas. Okay, well now I got to put on the makeup. Well, this is actually perfect timing because we're going to be watching this Republican Jesus. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is going to be very short. As you all know, I'm an atheist, but I know that we got Christians here in chat. For those in the chat that are right wing, you know, we could probably make one of these for Democrats too. Regardless, I just thought this was funny. Okay. This is called Republican Jesus. I will need to pause it occasionally. So it's not, I don't get a copyright on it, but I'll put on the makeup while you guys are watching it. All right. Or while we're listening to it together. So. Right. You, Jonas. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Jonas, the right winger. Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. When pigs fly, Jonas. Okay. All right. Let's watch this.
Whoever welcomes one of these little ones in my name might be letting in a murderer or a drug. Let's get her to a detention center. You know.
All right. And by the way, I know, folks, I know we could quibble about the things it says in the Bible and things like that, and how, like, maybe Jesus wasn't that nice after all or whatever, but still very funny, right? Very funny. All right. Sorry, I'm putting on the white. All right, let's go on here.
So we can figure out what's going on. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. And behold, now I'm all lazy and entitled.
That's my point,
you shouldn't
Raccoon.
have done that. Do unto others.
I'm sorry. Did you guys hear that? I shouldn't have talked. Did you hear that?
Thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. And behold, now I'm all lazy and entitled. You shouldn't have done that. Do unto others as you suspect they might want to do unto you. What is a man profited if he gain the whole world but lose his soul? A lot. He has profited a lot. One soul for the whole world, that is an amazing deal. Why do you...
So, Raccoon Boy, I agree. I was saying that we could make this too about Democrats and how they don't listen. They wouldn't care about Jesus either. That's what was my point.
Look at the speck of dust in your brother's eye, but ignore the plank in your own. Because of her emails. Yes. If a man strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him and shoot him. That is the law. If you want to be perfect, go. Sell all the possessions that you have and give the money to a solid mutual fund. By this, they will know that you are my disciples. That you say, Merry Christmas! Christ! Christmas! That's my name in there, and I put it in there because I wanted it in there so we could all celebrate Big Boy Jesus' birthday time!
Sorry, I just gotta pause it so I can finish the makeup. I'm getting too caught up in listening to it. Oh, right. Okay. Whew, forgive me. I'm okay. Let me just quickly. I'm gonna put on some blue now. Here we go. We'll continue.
Okay? Okay.
Rabbi, surely you can heal me.
My child, of course I could. But who would pay for it?
What? I don't understand. I don't have any money.
Yes, it is a sad story, but it does not make me responsible. It is super duper easy for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. The richer, the better, really. Maybe get a solid gold house, just to be sure. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Oh, I'm way too amused for my own good. Okay.
Unless you are better than your neighbor, then tell them that they're weird and you do not want to bake them a cake. You have heard it said, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say to you, any man who looks upon a woman with lust in his heart should go ahead and do what he's gotta do.
Lord, your followers grow hungry and we have only this fish and bread.
Oh, sweet.
Oh my God. Okay. So there you go. That was GOP Jesus. I thought you'd all find that amusing. I thought you'd all find that amusing. It's Christmas. By the way, folks, oh my God, I totally missed up that eye. Oh well, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. We're just, we do what we can, folks. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. All right. Okay. So now I got to do the mouth and then I'll be done. But okay. Yeah, there we go. GOP Jesus. Thought you'd all like that. All right. So, very good, right? By the way, for those who don't know what the hell he was talking about with the Christmas thing, there's been this stupid. Is there an American in chat who would like to explain this so I don't have to? I know I'm being lazy. It's so annoying. So in America, there's this big like controversy. I don't know if you want to call it a controversy. It's a bunch of bullshit. That the right wing is so mad because a lot of people have been trying to say happy holidays instead of saying uh um Merry Christmas, okay? And the right wing has been losing its mind over several years, being like, "Why don't we say Merry Christmas anymore? Why do we have to say you know, happy holidays?" Well, the reason you say happy holidays is because you don't know if the person you're talking to celebrates Christmas or Hanukkah or any other or doesn't celebrate at all. Okay. Anyway, so that funny part where he's like, "It's Christmas." Okay, is just like anyway. Okay. Storgos, the makeup came from donations I have received, and that is why I have the makeup on. Because if we get enough, I put on the makeup. And last little bit of makeup I need now, folks, is I need the pink, and then I'll be done. So I'll put on the pink makeup on my lips and my face. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Let me put my glasses on here. Okay, there we go. We're done. Yay, makeup's done. Oh, it doesn't look great. Whatever, it's fine. I messed up the eyes. Who cares? We're fine. We'll survive. Okay, so all right. Thank you guys for allowing me the time to fix my makeup, put my makeup on, etc. We are all decked out now. This is good. I think someone actually sent an extra uh God, Jewel, and Gottnitier. Oh my gosh, I love it, Sammy. Thank you so much for the super chat there, Sammy. Did I miss any more? We're already at 6 super chats. Jesus Christ. Okay, if we get one more, we'll play the guess the food game. Um, you're totally right, Storgos. Yeah, exactly. The more donations I get, the more my inner jester comes out. Okay, happy Yule. There you go. Okay, guys. So this is going. Speaking of what Storgos said earlier, we've done what is it called? The shit, the palette. Okay, I know I just did a bunch of things. Now that we do the palette cleanser, we're gonna go back to some serious stuff. Now, this is a video. Speaking of what Storgo said earlier about Israel and Palestine, this is a video made by Dylan Collins on his account of being targeted by the Israeli military as a journalist. Okay, so we're just gonna watch this, because why not? All right. Oh, Raccoon Boy, you know just what to say. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. All right, all right. A rat.
My name is Dylan Collins. I'm a video journalist with AFP based in Beirut. On October 13th, I was among a group of 7 journalists in the southern Lebanese border village of
You're right in your groove. You should hit me for that. My apologies.
Shab, targeted and hit by Israeli tank fire twice in the span of 37 seconds.
Oh, Jonas, oh my God, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
The strikes killed Reuters video journalist Issam Abdullah and left AFP photographer Christina Asi with life-altering injuries, including the amputation of her right leg.
Oh, good, good.
All 5 other journalists, myself included, were left wounded. These images are an attempt to show you what happened that day. Here you see my colleague Christina Asi arriving in Al-Mashab.
So I haven't seen this.
Where we spent almost an hour filming a column of smoke on the other side of a distant hilltop.
By the way, we didn't talk about this too. There was also, did you all hear about the 3 American soldiers who were killed in Syria? And Trump is vowing revenge and blah, 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 and is probably going to kill a bunch of innocent civilians. You know how it goes, right? So there's also that. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. There's also that. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays. Great things going on all around the world right now.
Close to Lebanon's border with Israel. At this position, we're about 2 kilometers from the border, significantly
only 3,
removed from the smoke. For the next hour, we filmed the smoke billowing. Together, with colleagues from Al Jazeera and Reuters, we had 3 live broadcast feeds going out to 3 international news agencies. All 7 journalists were clearly marked as members of the press.
You know I won't listen.
And we were wearing flak jackets and helmets.
Yeah.
We were visible to multiple Israeli military.
Raccoon Boyo, if honest thing here. For the ethnic Arabs that are in my community, if you were to enact shawarma law, I would love that. Please enact shawarma law in my community, okay? Love shawarma, dear God. Please, yes, exactly, Jonas. Yes. For all the Arabs in here or Arab adjacent people who love shawarma, you know what, Doug? I would also be okay with Shakira law, but but if we're gonna choose one, I think shawarma law would be the best, right? And some Shakira law as well. I agree.
Military positions along the border, both to our east and to our west, and we were also visible to the Israeli drones constantly buzzing overhead.
I would say something else that I can't say. Well, I can't say it now because it's not after dark. But remind me to say something else, another law I would enact if we were on after dark. Okay.
Audio analysis of my footage that day shows that an Israeli drone circled us at least 11 times in the last 25 minutes before we were hit. We were on an open hilltop, and the Israeli military knew we were there from the moment we arrived. We thought that being seen would protect us. The first Israeli tank shell hit us at 6:02 p.m. It came out of nowhere.
Oh, okay, so they weren't even like, I know, I'm sorry, Raccoon Boy. That shell, literally, it's not like they're aiming at someone nearby them. That seemed like a targeted shell. I can't say what, Raccoon Boy. What did I say? What did you don't know what I would say, Raccoon Boy.
Fuck, what happened? What happened?
That's fair, Daniel.
What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? I can't feel my legs.
Oh my God.
My legs.
Oh fuck, oh fuck.
Well, guys, isn't it obvious they were clearly being used as human shields by Hamas, right? Right, obviously they were being used as human shields by Hamas. The IDF couldn't help itself, right? They were just protecting Israel.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I was blown back by the force of the impact, and immediately heard my
listen.
colleague Christina screaming for help. I ran to her and saw the devastating wounds to her legs. I knew I had to put tourniquets on
It really,
both legs or she'd bleed out.
Again, this is very revealing. There was no firing going on, was there? It was silent. And then suddenly a shell explodes right on top of them. They had to target that shell, by the way. They had to target it. It's not like there were sometimes if you fire artillery, you have to it might, like, if it were a miss, there would have been more shells fired. It was targeted. It was targeted. Okay. Okay. And they obviously are journalists.
I got down on my knees, straddling her right leg, and began to slide a tourniquet up towards her knee, but before I could tighten it,
I can't feel my legs.
Oh my God, this is depressing.
What happened? I can't feel my legs.
You're okay. Nick. Fuck.
La la la
Tourniquet,
la 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 la.
That's that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Raccoon Boy. So you notice, by the way, that is very common. I've read about that even from stories of World War I and World War II. After you get hit by a shell, people will often go la 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 or nah 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 like that because they're trying to be able to hear because their ears are ringing so much. It kind of helps them. Okay.
La 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 la.
Fuck.
Oh, okay. Wow.
the second strike came just 37 seconds after the first, and just meters away from its impact site.
Yep. Oh,
we later
for sure,
learned that our
Jonas.
colleague Isam was killed instantly in the first strike, after receiving the brunt of its force. The other 5 journalists were wounded in the second strike.
Another shell.
4 independent investigations into the strikes on
Cheese soup, they're striking them because they're journalists, and the IDF, are monsters. Like I don't know how else to say it. They're genocidal monsters. That's why.
October 13th by AFP, Reuters, Amnesty International, and Human Rights Watch found that Isam Abdullah and Christina Asi were hit by a 120mm fin-stabilized tank shell manufactured by Israel. The strikes were deliberate and targeted. They arrived just 37 seconds apart, just a few meters from each other. In a subsequent report, Reuters found that the same tank crew...
By the way, your tax dollars that may have been manufactured by Israel, but they use they wouldn't be so willing to waste shells by killing journalists if they didn't have as much financial support from us.
...and fire at us with a .50 caliber weapon for nearly 2 minutes after the shells hit, showing that the targeted attack was aimed at taking out the entire group.
Yeah.
Additionally, an investigation into the incident by UN peacekeeping force UNIFIL showed that there hadn't been an exchange of fire along the border for more than 40 minutes before we were hit.
Yep. Yep, Sir Bartholomew. I mean, this is why I wanted you guys to see it. It's just so blatant. And remember, folks, I've said this before, Putin has killed fewer journalists than Israel. As a matter of fact, Israel has killed more journalists than what? In all the wars of the 20th century? Okay, maybe not of the 20th century, but some huge number of the century combined. They aim for journalists.
A month later, journalists working for Al Mayadeen were killed in an eerily similar double tap attack along the border. Cameraman Rabi Ma'amari and correspondent Farah Omar were killed in that attack.
Yeah, you're right. So I can't remember the exact stat in your groove. It was basically a lot, since of the last few wars, more journalists have been killed. I can't remember. I don't remember. Someone might need to look it up for me.
Nothing
I can look
will
it up.
bring our friend Isam back, and Christina may never walk the same again. But since this attack, more than 100 journalists have been killed in Israeli strikes, the vast majority of them Palestinian journalists in Gaza. Please help us use this overwhelming amount of evidence to start getting justice.
All right. So, yeah, it's nearly 300 journalists have been killed by Israel. Okay, yeah, I guess it's I way exaggerated, but it's more than half of all the journalists killed in 2025 were killed by Israel. Okay, in Gaza. So that's good, right? I mean, it's obvious that they aim. It's a genocidal regime. I don't know what else to say. So I just thought it'd be interesting. I just thought you guys, I haven't talked about Israel and Palestine for a little bit. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I had to take a pause. It was very emotionally draining for me. Regardless, I'm trying to get back into it. Israel recently assassinated another quote unquote top leader of Hamas. I don't trust anything they say. I'm sorry. He probably was a top leader of Hamas. I don't know. He could have been a baby in a crib and they would say he's a top leader of Hamas. So I literally don't know. Though I'll believe, for the sake of argument, I'll believe that they killed another top leader of Hamas. But regardless, they're supposed to have a ceasefire and they're still killing leaders of Hamas, which is still illegal. Okay. So, there's that. There's that. Plus, I also want to talk about Israel because I love all the mad Zionists that keep coming into my chats on my videos on YouTube. And I just like pissing them off more, to be honest. It kind of fuels my flame. Cheese soup. Cheese soup. I was eating what is it called? I need to stop the uhs. What is it called? Mac and cheese. I was eating mac and cheese soup. But I was not eating cheese soup. Yeah, I've seen it too, Raccoon Boy. So okay, there you go. Now, so that's been happening. Now, another video here I wanted to show all you. These are ICE agents. These are ICE agents in what city is this in? This is in Chicago. These are ICE agents. For those who don't know, ICE is our border and customs enforcement agency, basically. Well, no, they're not. Internal customs enforcement. What is that for? I got immigration. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Immigration and customs enforcement. Whatever. I just teach history and social studies. It's not like I should know that. I'm sorry, Alyssa. I'm not meaning to ruin your day. I did warn everyone. I did warn everyone in the stream title when I titled it horror, because we got a lot of bad news. Okay, this is an ICE agent in Chicago, and as you can see here, some of the nearby folks are going to be throwing. That's true. Are going to be throwing snowballs at him. Yeah, right, Malzord. Are going to be throwing snowballs at him. And how do you think an ICE agent would respond to having snowballs thrown at them? You know, I mean, agent, that's a word for it. Okay, let's just see what happens. What happens when they throw some snowballs at him?
Gas will be deployed! Gas, gas, gas!
He throws tear gas at them into the yard of a house. Because, you know, why not? Why not? Remember how I said that tear gas is actually illegal under international law to use in warfare? Okay. Yeah, the ice stoffel, 100%, Yowzord. Yeah, I know, right? Cheese soup, I understand you. I get it.
Get back! Stop! Stop!
Okay. Now, they used a Black Hawk. Oh, I know, Doug. I know. Yeah. Yep, it says the terrorist myth. Yep, right, Raccoon Boyo? Right. Okay. Right, I mean, come on. You're right, Dolly Boy. When there's nothing to hold you accountable, why not throw tear gas in response to a snowball? Okay, because apparently snowballs are so dangerous. It's that classic saying how cops. The only thing a cop needs is to be offended to like hit you or whatever. Okay, but obviously it's the same truth for ICE. Apparently, yeah, yeah, right, retro. It's like okay, yeah, it was really cold, right, cheese soup. Now, I might. Honestly, folks, again, let me be the devil's advocate for a second. I'm just trying to rationalize this in my head. If that person had thrown like a chunk of snow and it had hit him in the face, like if it hit, I'm sorry, a chunk of like ice and it had hit him in the face or something like that, maybe I could see why you might want to defend yourself. But like, like I could at least justify that. Like, and maybe in some circumstance, someone who got hit in the face, they might, whatever. Alyssa, I don't actually agree with this. I'm just saying. But a snowball, I don't think there's any way to justify that if you guys didn't know. You're right. There you go, Doug. And it wouldn't be, really, how would they? Well, never mind that. I don't want to Fed post. There, they got the gas going. Look at them, they're walking down the street slowly and just pumping gas. By the way, here's something really dangerous about this, by the way. Something very dangerous. You see that these are houses right here? What if there's someone with asthma or something inside of one of those houses, and that gas actually gets into the ventilation system and pours into a house with an elderly person who can't leave the house and who now is inhaling all this tear gas into their their system and their eyes and their mouth and their throat, and they're on oxygen or something. Like that is there's a reason why you're supposed to use these things, even though you shouldn't use them at all, in my opinion, in open spaces in urban areas where, it's harder to do that, I guess. But okay. Okay. Look, okay, of course. See, there you go. Guys, that is like perfect sociology right there. What happens when you oppress people? They will all start picking up snowballs and throwing it at you. Right? And this is why it doesn't work. You notice these two guys, these two badass men who I'm going to look up on shit, it's not okay, damn, it's still not After Dark. Regardless, they are like, "Okay, fine. You're going to do that to us. We're going to throw snowballs at you." So all right.
Oh, it's under the car. It's under the car.
Oh, absolutely, Sir Bartholomew, right? No, Sir Bartholomew, that's my point. You know, Mauser, I didn't say it, but you said it. The people united will never be defeated. That's what they should be doing. Right? Oh, great, yay, flashbangs and stuff. Yeah. Yep, raccoon. But you mean, yeah, I totally get it, raccoon. I get it. You actually saw the Arab Spring, so you know. And okay. Thank you so did I miss something? Thank you, Tolly Boy. Thank you so much, really. Thank you for that. We've yeah, we all see it too, for sure. Watch, they'll raid the snowball throwers' apartments like the sandwich. Yeah, oh, 100% JDH. That's what I'm waiting for. In your group, I don't know, but that's an interesting question. Yeah, plus they're openly white supremacists. That's unfortunate, Retro Asher. Well, let's put it this way, Retro Asher, it's illegal if they can see your face and they know who threw it, right? Anyway. Yeah, you're not wrong, Sir Bartholomew. You're not wrong. Yeah, that's okay. Guys, I'm sorry. I got to read what Jonas said out loud, especially the Americans need to hear this. I don't get how appropriate use of force even works in America. I watch cops drag and slam people onto the ground for not giving ID and get away with it. Jonas, you're brilliant. Okay. What do you think we're asking ourselves every day over here? What the fuck is appropriate use of force in this country? Like, no, like there is no such everything is an appropriate use of force, it seems, especially if you're not white. I gotta tell you. And by the way, also if you're poor, you can be poor and white, and but especially if you're black. But really anyone, to be honest, anymore. But mainly black folks, but also white folks, especially if they're not wealthy white folks. Okay, that's what we ask ourselves every day. Yep, back to the decorum illusion. I'm guessing either Trump approved Venezuela land strikes or huge ICE operation on Christmas. Probably, Meowzord, probably, right? But we better not curse during a political debate, right, Meowzord? Okay, Alyssa, it's hard, right? Okay. It's hard to decide that. I can't really decide it. Yep, if you're not on your knees, weird amorphous blob, the way you phrased that was beautiful. If you're not on your knees for a cop, you deserve your head cracked open. That's basically the case. So, okay, you all got it. You all get the idea here. I mean, this is why I'm in kind of a clowning mood today because guys, I need some way to cope. I need some way to cope. And Jesus Christ, world ain't looking good right now. I mean, well, the news the last few days not great. Now, okay, I will say though, Trump's approval rating is in the slammer, is not doing well. It's deep in the toilet. Look at this. Look at this. He has a big can of bear spray. Look at this. Here we go. Look, he's just kind of walking around passively and throwing a gas can. Like, it's okay. Okay. None of us understand it. It depends on their mood. Okay. Oh, I know, Sammy Lammy, none of us understand. Okay, so you guys get the idea here. We don't need to watch this whole clip, but honestly, guys, I really like this. Why do I like this clip? Because I got to tell you, I suspect, and okay, so the community that this clip is set in is a middle-class community. There are mainly white people around them. Not all of them are white, mainly white. So why do I like this clip? I like it because I really want this to be shown on law all over the place. Because all of those comfortable MAGA middle-class white older people will see this and they'll be like, oh my God, that looks like my community. Oh my god, that's a middle class community. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? I think that like if they keep doing shit like this, it's gonna start. I hope I could be wrong because we know MAGA can really trick themselves. Uh, because a lot of times they can only associate with things that they feel affects them directly. Okay, so anyway, that's why I like this. I feel like it might bring it home for some people. It's one thing if you like live in the suburbs. Yep. There. Okay. Oh, you're right. You're actually right, Meowzord. So again, I am not saying that it may not work that way, but I like the video because at least this might connect with some of those people who dehumanize everyone else and doesn't think it affects them. All right. So, okay, there's that. That's great news, right? Great news. So all this shit's happening. Um, and by the way, we do have enough now. We do have enough chats here for I think we have 8 so far. We have 8. If we get 2 more, I'll stream for an extra 30 minutes. In the meantime, we will do a game. We'll do an identify the food game after I finish this last bit here. Okay. Yeah, and the Trump's approval rating is down in the 30s now. We do still have 3 more though. Okay. Yeah, I know, Raccoon Boyo. I know. We're all seeing it happen, Raccoon Boyo. It's terrible. So last thing here, just to ruin your days even more. That's why I'm not really sticking on these too much. Just kind of thinking about, things going on in the world. Last video here. This is another more perfect union video. There is a big issue in this country with private equity firms. Private equity firms are, investment agencies and stuff are buying up hospitals and privatizing them and then shutting them down if they're not profitable. Because in this country, everything is commodified, including medical care, which is barbaric, by the way. We live in a barbaric country that lets people die if they don't have health care. Barbaric. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely barbaric, obscene, disgusting. We live in a country that lets people get shot and killed on the streets all the time, but we don't want to do anything about it. We live in a country that, you know, puts a monetary value on the lives of people. We live in a country that has no problem throwing people on the street for no reason. Okay. Again, you can see I'm in a mood today. Let's watch this. More exciting news from California. Please, please. Great! Malzord, I love that for us. Love it for us. God damn it. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Malzord, thank you, Malzord, sent this message. This is, you know what? Let me look it up. Is this happening right now? Is this happening right now? Shots fired. Where is this? This is California. Yesterday? Okay. Oh, great. Yep. Oh, good. This was yesterday. I didn't know about this. Redlands police are investigating a potential hate crime targeting a Jewish family, allegedly after someone allegedly shot at their home with it was an airsoft gun? Well, that's good at least. At least it wasn't. Well, this might be a different one though. That might be a different one. If these were like real bullets. Yeah, gunman fires 20 bullets into. Yeah, nope, this was a different one. Yep, this is a different one. Good. Or wait, was it a different one? I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. It may not have been actual bullets. Regardless, I'll double check later. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Raccoon. Thank you very much for the gift there. All right. Yeah. So I would have to read more into that, guys, just to double check. I don't I'm having trouble finding it, but a video of it. But we don't. But again, what I need to know is that sounds like airsoft, to be honest. So I'll look into it. Yeah, and I'll look into it, guys. I don't know if that's fully true, but I mean, I would. But regardless, shooting a bunch of airsoft bullets at a Jewish house and then yelling "f the," that was also rather horrific. Okay. Oh, someone else. Oh, forgive me. Thank you. No, it's okay, Malzord. It's okay. It's still a hate crime, okay? A terroristic hate crime. Let's see here. Thank you, JDH, so much. Thank you, JDH, for gifting that subscription. All right, so let's go on here. This is another horror story. Let's watch.
Child should ever die because those
That's fair, Jonas.
bastards closed our hospital.
It's quite frankly tragic what these investors have done.
There's sadness and anger about the loss of this critical community resource.
There's actually a sign of.
We all kind of say one last thing since Malzord sent that. We all know, right, that Jewish people are human beings, right? I mean, I don't even know what else to say to that. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. You all know that. You all know that, okay?
They're right.
And also, by the way, we also should know, and I hope we all do, that being supportive of or being against what Israel's doing in Palestine is not the same as being anti-Semitic, right? I mean, I think we all know that. I'm just okay. Because it is true that Israel's actions do seem to cause more anti-Semitic attacks across the world because there are people who mix up the two. And I get it. I get the confusion because the government of Israel is always conflating the two. All right. Anyway, so my point being, okay. Disgusting. All right.
Front right now that says emergency department permanently closed. Anyone here with an emergency should call 911.
What you're looking at was one of the busiest hospitals in a county of more than 500,000 people. Right outside.
Exactly. As much as Bibi wants the two things to be equated, they're not. They're not the same thing.
One of America's biggest cities. Last month, the hospital closed after its parent company went bankrupt. But this wasn't any ordinary bankruptcy.
Moments after Governor Shapiro wrapped up a news conference, a family showed up at the closed hospital saying a baby wasn't breathing.
Prospect never treated
Do we really want to watch this right now? I think we do. Let's just pull the Band-Aid
us
off.
like a hospital. They treated us like a business.
What happened at Crozer-Chester Medical
Oh, welcome to almost any hospital in the United States. Really, welcome to almost any hospital in the United States. They will charge you $15 for a cough drop, literally. Like, if you get one cough drop, it'll cost you $15. Like, okay.
Center in Pennsylvania is happening all across the country. Private equity is buying hospitals, loading them up with debt, and then shutting them down, all while investors cash out.
They don't have any skin in the game. They can take financial risks, but not have to pay the price for them.
I hope for you that you never have a hospital close in your county. I hope for you that private equity never comes into your county to take over your health care.
We can't believe that we're.
Oh, but Malzord, this is actually great because, at Malzord, I make these mistakes all the time too, right? Like, that's the thing. You can't, everyone who's listening right now, right? The issue with the internet the way it is now is you're going to make mistakes no matter what you do, right? That you have to do the best you can to make sure you've read, what's happening and stuff. But even then, I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's okay. All right. Just, don't be too hard on yourself for it.
We're not going to be able to help these people anymore. And
I think you guys have seen me make mistakes on stream. So
somebody has to do something because these people deserve it.
Okay, let's see here.
Crozer-Chester Medical Center, located in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, was the busiest ER in the area, treating tens of thousands of patients each year. It was the main hospital in a system that, until 2022, was made up of 4 hospitals.
We were a really robust hospital, and we were busy all the time. Those people trusted us. They came every day and let us take care of their families.
Doug.
But in the mid-20s,
You're right, Jonas. Exactly my point. Remember that. I'm not even gonna remind everyone. Remember that Kahoot stream? It was horrible. Jonas will never let me forget. Thank you, Jonas, for your forgiveness.
the Crozer Health System was in financial trouble.
Crozer was a nonprofit system that was struggling because they're a safety net hospital.
Okay. You know what? I was trying to be nice, but now all you little heretics out there, now JDH, don't you dare! All you little heretics out there are defying the cult leader, all right? How dare you? Dolly Boy, we are not going to talk about dolphins versus sharks. We're not doing that, Dolly Boy. We are not doing, no, JDH, we're not talking about dolphins versus sharks. Okay? All right? Everyone confuses a dolphin and a shark once in a while, right? Everyone does it. Everyone does it. Okay. Everyone, common mistake people make, common mistake people make. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. It really is that true, Luke? I didn't know. Well, apparently I didn't know. Moving on. You all are evil. We're trying to have a serious, guys. In your groove, I swear to God, in your groove. Okay. I am trying. You guys are all evil. I think you're all far right. You know why I think you're all far right? I think you're all far right because I'm trying to have a serious conversation here. A serious conversation here about hospitals in the United States, and they're all you right wingers out there, being like, no, let's talk about the failings of the gay man. Let's scapegoat the gay man. Okay, that's what you're doing. This is scapegoating. You all are homophobic. You're scapegoating me because of my sexuality. That is what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. Okay, you're discriminating against me because I'm a Christian. Yeah, you're also discriminating against me because I'm a Christian, because that's the biggest form of hate that exists today, and because I'm white. Okay.
System. They have a disproportionate number of people who are covered by Medicaid or uninsured. And so these types of hospitals, they often have very thin margins.
So in 2016, Crozier's nonprofit board approved a sale to a California company called Prospect Medical Holdings. Unlike Crozier, Prospect was a for-profit system, and its principal owner was Leonard Green and Partners, a private equity firm based in Los Angeles.
Some of the companies they've owned over
okay, that's it. I'm ignoring all of you. I'm trying to listen to the movie. I'm ignoring all of you.
over the years include Joann's and a number
of Joann's.
Other just big box stores or chain restaurants.
We were told that Crozier was struggling financially, and so, what were we going to do?
Being bought by a for-profit system didn't fix Crozier's problems. Instead, they got worse. In 2022, Prospect closed 2 of the 4 Delaware County hospitals it owned, and conditions at Peggy's hospital deteriorated.
Pretty quickly, we started to see the supplies change, right? They started using different vendors. The quality was not what it was before, and little by little, we had less and less staff.
Well, hundreds of workers at Crozier Health.
This is how a hospital declines. You start privatizing it. You start privatizing stuff. And then suddenly the costs go up, and then they start cutting costs, and the quality goes down, the staff quality goes down, the number of people they hire goes down because now they have a profit motive. Are we shocked by this?
New job. Like all of those support systems that really made us be able to do the great job that we were always to do in caring for our patients, we started to notice all of that.
You're right, Raccoon Boyo.
So what's the incentive for a private equity company that owns retail stores and restaurants to get in the business of struggling hospitals?
Instead of putting money into these systems.
Guys, in the UK, they've been trying to neoliberalize their system too, further privatizations and things like that. It's a big problem.
They're actually
Don't go. Please avoid becoming like the US for your sake. I know I don't think you will. Yeah, I guess so. Sir Bartholomew, what's so bad about private healthcare? Just don't get sick. Sir Bartholomew, you'd be shocked at how many people actually say things like that.
Money out of the system.
Like seriously.
In 2018,
like,
just
who
2
are
years
actually
after buying
serious.
Crozier Health, Prospect took out a $1.1 billion loan and then sent nearly half of it straight to their investors while Crozier continued to suffer.
It's fundamentally extractive, even among private equity industry folks. It's a controversial way to generate a return on an investment because it adds absolutely no value to the company in question. And the private equity firm is not on the hook for any of that debt, but they can reap the rewards.
Leonard Green sold Prospect in 2019, but Prospect and its hospitals were
Retro.
still
Oh, Retro Asher, you're speaking my language. I think we should nationalize and take over that shit. That's my opinion anyway.
Hook for the debt.
Or at least like dismantle BlackRock. That'd be nice.
Truly, I say unto you.
Oh, God damn it. Sorry. We just went back to GOP Jesus. God damn it. I'm sorry. We'll go
Pretty
back
quickly, we started
stores and restaurants to get in the business of struggling hospitals.
Here we go.
Instead of putting money into these systems, they're actually taking money out of the systems.
In 2018, just 2 years after buying Crozier Health, Prospect took out a $1.1 billion loan and then sent nearly half of it straight to their investors while Crozier continued to suffer.
It's fundamentally extractive.
Guys, oh, of course they did.
Even among private equity industry folks, it's a controversial way to generate a return on an investment because it adds absolutely no value.
It's almost like those companies are parasitic. They have like a parasitic group of stockholders at the top and CEOs who just like extract wealth from the labor of others. It's almost like capitalism generally is kind of parasitic, wouldn't you say? A little parasitic or parasitizing off of our labor. That's how Jonas, I swear, okay.
Value to the company in question. And the private equity firm is not on the hook for any of that debt, but they can reap the rewards.
Leonard Green sold Prospect in 2019, but Prospect and its hospitals were still on the hook for the debt. In order to pay down that debt, Prospect sold the real estate of its hospitals, including Crozier, to an Alabama company called Medical Properties Trust, or MPT. These deals are known as sale-leaseback transactions.
What MPT does is it partners with health systems like Prospect to buy up their real estate and then rent it back. I like
100% in your groove.
a hospital landlord because that's really what it is.
Hospital landlords. Oh my God, don't you love this country? Can you those two things in the same sentence, folks? Oh, wow. Love it for us. Thank you, Dolly Boy. That was well timed for my laughter. Thank you, Dolly Boy. You know, I need to pull up like the clown music and shit and not blow your eardrums out.
Most of the time, the revenue that's generated from these one-time sales of the real estate, it doesn't go back into the hospital. It's being pocketed by investors.
And like a tenant, Crozier had to start paying rent, $35 million a year. Last year, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office sued Prospect and Leonard Green for mismanagement and breach of contract, saying the company, quote, broke their promise with years of neglectful, self-serving practices that have put lives at risk.
Broke their promises. So that's the thing. This is why liberalism and like the idea of playing nice drives me crazy. What the hell do they mean, the promises? Do you think a private equity firm making a promise about anything is something you should listen to? They broke their promises with year of neglectful. So you were going off of promises when you let them buy up the hospital. You see what I mean? They have an incentive to extract profit. It's not like, why would you expect anyway? Okay. All right. You see what I mean?
This January, Prospect filed for bankruptcy, and within months, it closed its last hospitals in Delaware County, including the one where Peggy worked.
I'm going to tell you honestly that we all believed up until that very last day in April.
There you go, weird amorphous blob, right? Right? It's like the vampire telling you, don't worry, I'm not going to suck your blood. I got plenty of iron.
That we would be saved and they would keep Crozier open because of how desperately needed
there
it
you go, Gowser, the illusion of decorum.
And it was like someone kicked me right in the stomach.
Think about Machiavelli, folks. That company's Machiavellian. They are willing to lie to make profits.
I remember feeling this like, how can this end? Nothing will haunt me like those days prior to closing that inpatient psychiatric unit, where I felt like I was herding patients out like cattle, where I felt like nobody cared about them.
On May 15th, the stakes of the closure took a dire turn.
When a woman came in her vehicle, screeching her brakes right behind the press conference, screaming at the crowd for us to help her with her baby who needed care. She took this baby to Crozier not knowing that it was closed.
They just called and said that she wasn't breathing and my heart just dropped.
She was taken by ambulance to Nemours.
Oh my God, this is not what I need to hear today, but okay.
Children's Hospital in Wilmington, a 20-minute drive away, where she was given a diagnosis.
I have 6 children, and no mother should have to drive up and hope that there's someone there to save their child and frantically hand their baby who's not breathing over to someone to save when there's a hospital right here and it's empty.
What's happened to Crozier is this natural outcome
you're not wrong.
of what happens when we allow markets to dictate access and quality of healthcare. It's not profitable to provide healthcare at a hospital with a disproportionate number of people on Medicaid. And
good night, Sammy Lammy. Sleep well. Try to stay warm.
if we don't want that to be the case anymore, we're going to need to find a way to finance healthcare that it doesn't allow investors to swoop in and extract from these systems before they finally go under.
The impact of shutting down Crozier Chester Medical Center isn't limited to just Chester either. Since the hospital closures, the share of Delaware County residents who live more than 5 miles away from a hospital has nearly tripled. Emergency visits at one Delaware County hospital have increased more than 40%, and local officials have had to scramble to make up the loss of ambulance services Crozier provided to towns and boroughs.
What we are experiencing is the trickle-down effect of the loss of 4 hospitals in Delaware County, a county of over 500,000 people.
Jesus Christ.
Longer emergency department wait times, longer wait times for...
Oh, as if they weren't already long before. If anyone here has ever been to an ER in the U.S., you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting a long time, and you're going to see some real crazy stuff while you're waiting. You're going to see people bleeding, like missing fingers and things like that, sitting in the waiting room, bleeding out. Like, I'm not even joking. Has anyone here been to an ER and seen what I'm talking about in the U.S.? Okay, like, and they're saying that it's going to be even longer for a lot of folks. Okay.
EMS, significant challenges getting appointments.
Minutes matter, whether you're having a stroke or a heart attack, or you've been shot or stabbed, or you can't breathe.
In June, the Pennsylvania House passed a bill backed
Retro
by
Asher,
Governor Josh
100%.
Shapiro that would ban sale-leaseback agreements and give the Attorney General new oversight powers over mergers and acquisitions involving hospitals and nursing homes.
Currently, the Attorney General's office finds out about it when we all do. There's provisions to look at it and decide, is this in the public interest?
The bill is now in the Republican-controlled Pennsylvania Senate.
And I hope lawmakers come together.
No, you're right in your groove. If it's something severe like chest pain or something like that, but there'll be other people who are bleeding, who are having other issues that, because they do prioritize based off like immediate need, but there will be a lot of people still suffering tremendously who will have to wait a long time to get care. They'll be sitting in the waiting room screaming in pain because, there are other people like there's just not enough. Yeah.
Together, Democrat and Republican, like the group we have assembled here today, and quickly pass this much needed legislation, put it on my desk, and I will sign it into law.
This year, more than a dozen bills have been filed across 9 states to address private equity in healthcare, including a ban on sale-leaseback transactions in Massachusetts and another restricting the corporatization of health.
He loves private equity. That's interesting, Raccoon. Yeah, there you go, Retro Asher. See, that happened to me too. Retro Asher says I had that waiting room issue in ERs. Yeah, split my entire finger open back in Halloween around 2023. Had to wait 4 hours with my bone entirely visible. Yeah, I've seen that too. It happened to me, folks. When I was in college, I worked as a bartender and fry cook, and I made pizzas and fried wings, and I tended a bar at a place near campus. And someone left a blade for cutting pizzas underneath a pizza pan that I didn't see it there. And I grabbed the pan and I horribly sliced open my thumb. Like it was a gaping hole on my thumb. It was sliced open and I still have a scar there. And it was extremely painful. And I had to sit in the ER for 6 hours before anyone could see me in pain. So, yeah.
Healthcare in Oregon. As corporate greed continues to infiltrate healthcare around the country at astonishing levels, we're left asking, how many more communities will pay the ultimate price?
Our health system is like a dangerous, windy road that's been engineered really poorly.
Jesus Christ, Jonas.
And the legislation right now in Pennsylvania, if passed, that would be like putting guardrails up.
I blame private equity. I blame Prospect Medical. I blame
Jonas.
Leonard Green. They came to Chester with this one intention in mind, was to take every bit of equity from us and to leave us bankrupt and to walk away.
As for Crozier, House Bill 1460 will be too late, but officials hope the hospital will eventually reopen in some form.
A hospital is where people go for care, and a hospital is where people go to be cured and to be saved.
Oh, that's good,
and
Retro, but
think
still.
That a company can come in and treat us like any other kind of business, that when you're done with us, throw us away.
Mm-hmm.
They have left people devastated.
But also, like, do we want any business treating anyone that way? Like, okay.
Died. People will continue to die. They sold out this poor community for money. And that's something that I think can never happen again.
Yep. All right. So, guys, Like, okay, I don't know. I know I'm not really saying much because I think you all know what I want, what I can say about this. I obviously, as a socialist, I would recommend we maybe get away from that system altogether. If we can't do that, then I at least recommend we have a socialized healthcare system because it should not be based off profit. It should be based off need because people deserve to get the care they need because they're human beings and they shouldn't suffer and die because they don't have enough money. Because I don't know about all of you, but I think it's a pretty well thought. I think it's a pretty moral thing for a lot of people that money should not equate to human value, right? I feel like that's obvious. And honestly, I think most Americans do think that. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes, but most Americans do think that, and yet they have trouble making that connection to the system they live in, don't they? Right? All right. All right. So we got enough and anyway, it's just so weird to talk about hospitals in terms of like landlords and profits. Okay, I've had to just tough through not being able to stand for a few days every now and again. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Weird Amorphous Blob. I really am. That's horrific. All right, guys, so let's play a game. We got to the point where we can play a game. And I found a game. Yeah, you're right, Raccoon Boy. It's not even really a hospital system. So there's a game I found. I wanted to try it. And since we have people here from all over the world, I thought it'd be kind of fun. It's a game where you get to choose. Oh, I'm sorry. What is it? Food identifier? Time guesser? Is that what it is? Or you can always talk shit for a second, Raccoon Boyo. All right, time guesser. Let me see if I can find it here. There is a different version here. Where is it? Food guesser? I found it. Food guesser. There we go. So what you do is we have to guess the kind of food that we're looking at here. Okay. Now, this will be good because we got people from all around the world. So since we've gotten enough chats now, and because we need a bit of a palate cleanser off all that horrific news, let's do it this way. All right. This is Food Guesser. And what do we think this is? What is this? This looks like, so those are onion rings. I guess we have to come up with the name. Or no, we have to guess where it's from. Guess where this dish is from. That's what we're guessing. Okay, well, that might be easier, actually. This looks, what do we think? This looks American. Am I wrong? Does this look American? This looks American to me. Right? You think Poland? It could be Poland. There are some, I don't know, it looks kind of American to me. You think British Malzord? It could be. Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm reading the ingredients. I don't think it's American. The ingredient says calf brains, so I don't think that's really American. So you soak the brain in cold water, then parboil and slice it. Dredge the slices in seasoned flour, then dip them in beaten eggs. So it's cow brains, I guess, is what they're eating on a sandwich. That doesn't sound terribly American. Anyone have a guess? I really don't know. I have no idea. It's in English down here. Do we think UK? Okay, do we think UK? Yeah, you're right, Jonas. Northern Europe? Okay. I'm gonna try Balkan energy, but it's in English. You're gonna say Argentina? Ooh. You know what? Let's try the UK. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go UK just because. No, I don't know. I feel like that's not UK. You say Austrian? I'm gonna try the UK, and I'll probably be wrong because everyone's telling me not to try that one. All right, let's just try the UK here. Oh, I guess can we guess a few places? It kind of looks like we can. Someone said Argentina. Let's try Argentina. Argentina. Right. Why can't I? Oh, I guess we get to guess 3 different places, it looks like. I don't know. Wait a minute. We do? I should have figured out how to play this before we did this. Having trouble actually seeing how to submit the damn thing. Okay, so we got. Let's try the United States also. Oh, you're right. Okay, guys, I'm getting it. It says cold. So I was very wrong. No, guys, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. So it says that's cold. So we're wrong about the United Kingdom. We're very wrong about Argentina. So where could it be? So because it says cold for United Kingdom, ice cold for Argentina. So what is what is, I guess, what do we think? I'm gonna say someone else said Austria. It might be Australia, actually. I'm gonna try Australia. Ice cold. Nope, still not good. Jesus. Where should we? Okay. I really don't know where this could be. Yeah. English. It's in English. Have we tried the United States yet? Okay, let's try USA. Correct. It was the USA. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm gonna say no, thank you, because I don't think I'd want that. That you can decide whether it's good or not. Okay, yeah. So, oh my God, guys, this is from the Midwest. So this is from near me, and yet I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. Apparently, it's Ohio. Ohio and Indiana is where they make this from German immigrants. So whoever said, whoever, exactly. So really, it says here that they stopped eating it as much because of bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Okay, but I've never had that here. That's for sure. Okay, so there we go. Let's go on here to the next one. Next round. Boo. Ooh, this is okay. These are okay. Sweet potato, sugar, coconut milk, water, oil, sesame seeds. It's a delightful, crispy treat made from sweet potatoes or cassava. The tubers are shredded, mixed with sugar, and deep fried to golden perfection, creating a lattice-like texture. It boasts a sweet caramelized flavor, and a crunchy bite, making it a popular snack or dessert enjoyed especially during festive occasions. Now, I think it's probably Vietnamese because there's Vietnamese writing in the background. You think Kazakhstan? So, you know what? Okay, I see Vietnamese writing in the background. I'm going to try Vietnamese first, and then if it doesn't work there, I'll try the other ones too. Vietnamese. God, I wish I had a map I could just click on the country. That's quicker than this. All right, Vietnamese, Vietnam. Doop. Hey, we got it. That was Bon Ray. Bon Ray, which is a traditional Vietnamese dessert originally mainly from the southern regions of Vietnam. Very cool. Very nice. All right, looks good to me. I'm going to say yum to that. Okay. Well, that's cute. Oh, you can? How dare you, Alyssa? Fine, fine, fine. Okay. Yeah, that was good. All right, we did well on that one. We got all 5,000 points. Let's go to the next one. Oh my God, that looks amazing. Yes, yes, yes. This is from the UK, right? Right? This is from the UK. This is steak, mushrooms, onions, Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, butter, and a loaf of crusty bread. Oh my God. This is a steak, what is it called? I know this beef Wellington. Yes, beef Wellington, right? That's UK, right? I love beef Wellington. Oh my God. Not beef Wellington. What is it? Okay. Not Wellington, Meowzord? Forgive me. So is it Wellington? I think it's beef Wellington. Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, I know. That's how I've always pronounced it here in Ohio. We always call it Worcestershire sauce. Oh, is it? It's not a beef Wellington. Oh, it's a British hot pocket. Okay, you know what? Whatever it is, it's from the UK. So I'll find the name of it. Yay! A shooter sandwich. Shooter sandwich. Shooter sandwich. I think you're right. I think a Wellington is like it's not as flat as that, right? A Wellington is not as flat as that. It's like a chunk of filet mignon. Okay. So a shooter sandwich is a traditional British dish that originated in the late 19th century. It's essentially a portable sandwich, as Jonas was saying, that was popular amongst hunters and shooters who needed a hearty meal while out in the field. Love it. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to say yum. It looks delicious to me. All right, next round. Okay. Yeah, Meowser definitely has some autism in regards to food and global. Oh my God, I just wiped my face on my blanket and now, anyway, just stained it. All right, so this looks, I can kind of tell if this is what I think it is. So ground beef, ground lamb, ground beef, onions, garlic, parsley, mint, cumin, paprika, salt, black pepper, red pepper flakes, olive oil, and sumac. This dish features spicy ground meat, typically a blend of lamb and beef, shaped into elongated patties or balls. These are skewered and grilled over an open flame, resulting in a succulent and flavorful meat with a hint of smokiness. I feel so dirty talking about this. Okay, often accompanied by rice or flatbread and garnished with grilled vegetables and fresh herbs, this dish offers a harmonious blend of savory and aromatic sensations. You think Lebanon? Yeah, it seems like the Levant. I think Lebanon. I do. Lebanon or Turkish? You think Turkish? Okay, Retro Asher, because I've been ignoring you and because I haven't been ignoring you, Retro Asher, but because I haven't used one of yours yet, I don't think. I'm going to try Turkey because it is, and we'll see if it's hot or cold. And then if it is, we can try a different one. Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. This is, oh, you know what? You're right. I can just type it in. You're right. Turkey. I know Ellis is going to yell at me. Hey, it was Turkey. Hey, great job. Great job. Okay, I can't pronounce it. Sis kofta is a traditional Turkish dish that consists of ground meat shaped into skewers and grilled. It also has regional variations. It also has links to Persia. Interesting. This looks amazing. Okay, gotta love it. All right, that looks delicious. Next round. Oh my God, ooh. Okay, this could be, oh my God, this could be like also turkey. All right, ground lamb, ground beef, ground lamb, ground beef, onion, garlic, salt, black pepper, turmeric, sumac, saffron, parsley. Is this Persian? Because we all know that the Persians love saffron, right? Isn't that I could be wrong. Isn't that a Iranian thing? You think, Meowser, do you think Brazil? It's possible because they also like their cooking stuff. You think Iran? Yeah, right. I thought Iran too because I know Iranians love saffron. You think Persian? Okay. No, Brazil. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try it. Let's first try Iran, and then you think Lebanon? Let's try Iran first. Oh, it was Iran. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. We're doing pretty well, folks. That first one kind of got us, but then we're doing well now. Okay. Kebab kubidya is a popular Iranian dish made from ground meat, typically beef or lamb, which is seasoned with oh my God, it sounds so good. The dish's name translates to pounded kebab, referring to the method of preparing the meat by pounding or grinding it. Sorry, I'm a child. Before it is shaped into skewers for grilling. That's okay, Meowsword. I forgive you. All right. Of course, it would. Of course, you would begin not getting them right as soon as we say that you're especially skilled at it, Meowsword. It's just your luck. All right. Finish. We didn't do bad, guys. You want to do it again? That was kind of fun. You want to? I'm just starting to realize I'm fat as fuck. Right. That's right, yo. I get it. Okay, encore. Let's do it again. This is kind of fun. Ooh, oh my goodness, that looks delicious. Is this China? Is this China? China, as what is Trump says? Okay. Flour, sugar, baking powder, eggs, sesame seeds, oil, water, milk, yeast, red bean paste. Oh my God, it's totally China or Japan. Doesn't China and Japan love red bean paste? Both of them do. You think it's dim sum? Okay. I will not Japan, China. Okay, we'll do China. We'll try China. You're right. I gotta do it. China. I can't mimic his voice very well. Let's try China. Hey, it was China. There we go. Retro Asher. That is China. That's a joke because Retro Asher said Taiwan. I'm just trying to. You get the joke. Okay. So thank you. So that I can't pronounce that meows word. Schwam Bao Tai. This looks delicious. Referred to as sister twins or double fried devil, is a traditional Chinese snack that originated in Fujian province, primarily consumed as a breakfast item or a street food snack. Shuang Bao Tai is made from dough consisting of flour, water, sugar, and leavening agents. Very nice. That looks delicious. Is it bad? In my American brain is social Jonas. My American brain is immediately thinking that'd be great, dunked in sugar and cinnamon. Come on, like that would be really good with like a sugar and cinnamon all over it, don't you think? Okay, maybe I'm being overly American. I'm gonna go on. Let's go on here. This is, I don't know. This is all right. Garlic, olive oil, vinegar, bread, salt, and pepper. This dish is a savory sauce. Uh, this dish is savory sauce featuring garlic as its star ingredient, combined with bread, vinegar, and sometimes herbs. It's typically used as a condiment or garnish for meat, fish, or vegetables. Oh, so the sauce is what we're looking at. Known for its potent garlic flavor, the sauce is both zesty and aromatic, offering a robust accompaniment that enhances and enlivens the main dish it accompanies. Yeah, I know Meowzo. Okay. Yeah, cinnamon. No, come on. Cinnamon sugar would be great. All right. Okay. Garlic, Lebanon, you think? So over here, there's Italian, I believe. Nastra, I don't know. Looks like Italian, but you think Moroccan? Jesus Christ, this could be anything. You know what? Let's do this. Let's try Italian, and then we'll see how close it is. I don't know. We'll see. Italian. It doesn't. Well, we'll find out. Or Italy. Not Italian. Italy. Oh, it was Italy. Okay. Well, that was nice. Yeah, no doubt they did Raccoon Boyo. I mean, what else is new, Raccoon Boyo? It's a European country. Of course it was stolen. Just kidding. Okay. Ooh, that went down the wrong windpipe. Ooh, all right. Okay, excuse me. Woo! All right. I'm alive. Don't worry. Thank you, JDH. Forgive me. I know JDH likes hitting me. All right. So that was good. We'll say yum. It looks good. Aggalata is a traditional Italian sauce with a history that traces back to the Middle Ages. Its name is derived from aglio, the Italian word for garlic, which is the primary ingredient. Aliato originates from the regions of Liguria in southern Italy, where garlic has historically been an abundant and staple agreement. Okay, cool. That's amazing, Malzord. Okay, the Cuomos, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. What do we got here? Ooh. Is this borscht? There's two pictures. Oh, look, there's two pictures of this one. So, oh my God, I don't know what this is. It is not lasagna, JDH. Wait till you hear the ingredients. Duck blood, duck meat, herbs, peanuts, fish sauce, lime juice, chili, garlic, shallots, mint, coriander, and pork blood. This dish is a traditional delicacy consisting of fresh animal blood, usually served raw or lightly congealed. Guys, I'm not trying to be ethnocentric here, but I'm going to puke. If anyone out here likes this kind of food, please, I am not trying to downgrade your culture. I am just saying, for me, this looks like what you would do if you're trying to summon a demonic entity from another world. You would probably execute all these animals and pour their blood onto a symbol on the ground. I'm just saying. This is, to me, disgusting. I am not judging anyone's culture. I'm just saying, to me, disgusting. Okay. Can we guess where this is from? Cooked meat such as duck or pork, sometimes roasted peanuts, sometimes lime for flavor. I know. Okay, I really have no idea. This one looks different. I don't know. Vietnam. You think Vietnam, JDH? Really? Do we think Vietnam? Okay, I'm gonna listen to JDH. JDH is the only one that's really had a good answer to this. I'll do Vietnam. Yeah, you're right. The mint and the peanuts kind of gives Vietnam. JDH. JDH. You are a god amongst humans. Thank you, JDH. You saved us. It was indeed Vietnam. It was indeed Vietnam. Meowser doubled it. Very good. Very good. No, it's called Tiet Con, and no thank you. I appreciate other people's cuisine. I'm sure it's delicious. I just can't do it. But let's see how people rank this. Yeah, 84% of people said no, that they wouldn't try it. Now, I would try it. I don't know. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good for the people who are used to it, etc. Okay. All right. I don't know, Meowser. I don't think I could eat that either. I don't know. I'm weird about things being raw. I don't even really like raw fish in sushi. I don't know. I'm weird that way. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. All right. Let's go to this. Okay. With that, hey guys, we got. Oh wait. So we got. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Let's go to the next one here. This has to be Europe somewhere, right? Yes, this is Europe. Okay. Is this Austria or Germany? Because they have these things there. I've been there and I had this in Germany. It's vanilla ice cream that's turned into spaghetti. You guys think Japan? Oh, I see a lot of people saying Japan, but that's weird because it could be. Did it come from Japan and go to Europe, or did it go from Europe to Japan? Yeah, I used to be a sushi chef, Alyssa, and I really didn't like the sushi unless it was cooked. I'm kind of gross. I'm kind of weird that way. All right. Like that's I don't know what to say. Okay, I'll try Japan first, though I think it might be Europe, but it may have been started in Japan. It may have. If not, if it's not okay, ice cold, very wrong. Okay, let's try Germany. I could be wrong about Germany. Yep, it was Germany. Yay! That's what I get for not trusting myself. The problem is, if I do trust myself, I'll say things like dolphins and sharks are both mammals. Or whatever I said. I don't remember what I said. I guess dolphins are mammals, sharks are not. Okay. So, all right. It's so good. By the way, that sauce is like a strawberry sauce. That sauce is a strawberry sauce. It's really good. I remember having that delicious dish. Okay. Next one. I know what they did. Ooh, this looks. Oh my God, guys, why are they doing the ice cream? This is making me hungry. Okay, this is shaved ice, red beans, palm seed, sweet corn, grass jelly, sendal, evaporated milk, sweetened condensed milk, rose syrup, palm. There's so many ingredients. Palm sugar syrup, basil seeds, attap seeds, peanuts, ice cream, fruit cocktail, agar jelly, and lychee. Woo! And there's two images of it. This dish is a vibrant. It's hallow. Oh, hallow? For what? Halo? With halo for what? I'm sorry. Hey, what did I pronounce wrong? So this dish is a vibrant and refreshing dessert featuring shaved ice with a variety of topics. Hmm. You think Filipino? Do we all think Filipino? I'm willing to guess Filipino on this. I am willing to guess Filipino on this. Okay. Halo. Oh, that's the name of the dish. So it's Hawaiian? Okay, you know what? Let's try the Philippines and then I'll try the United States. But I've tried okra. What I do wrong? Why am I spelling this wrong? I don't think I am. There it is. No, I was spelling it right. Okay. Well, okay, we're getting close. So the Philippines is warm, so that it must be near the Philippines. So guys, it must not be. Yeah, I have. I've had okra. Absolutely. You think Thailand? Okay, I'll try Thailand then. Malaysia? Okay, I'll try Malaysia. Malaysia. It was Malaysia. Retro Asher coming in clutch for the team here. Retro Asher, most of you were close. It was Malaysia and Singapore and Brunei. We could have said any of those. It's a popular dessert found in Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei. It's also known as ice kacang or ABC. The dish traditionally, okay, that's cool. Okay, it was introduced by the British, and then they made it their own by adding different toppings and red beans. Interesting. Okay, cool. Interesting. All right. Well, guys, we only got we were ranked as a gastronomical genius. Gastronomical geniuses. I think that's about right. Okay, we only were 1,000 off. Let's play one more time. I'm enjoying it. We'll play one last time here. All right. I would love to, Rickon. Let's do an okra party. All right. Oh, well, this is easy. The flag is right there. The flag is right there. Okay, semolina, water, salt, onion, tomato, bell pepper, chile. I don't know why I said chile. Chili, pepper, garlic, olive oil, parsley, paprika, and black pepper. You think it's from Greenland, yes? Okay, this dish involves making dough from semolina. And me too. Okay, dough from semolina, salt and water, letting it rest. Meanwhile, you fry some onions, which sounds delicious to me. Forgive me, I'm trying to. Where'd I go? Okay. Let's see here. Roll the dough into thin circles. Place the filling in the center. Give me a second here. Okay, roll the dough into thin circles, placing the filling in the center, fold into squares, and cook on a hot griddle until golden brown on both sides. That's amazing. Do we know? So, okay. This is where'd I put my face? It disappeared. Okay. The filling is, I mean, I can tell you guys, this is the flag of Pakistan, so I'm guessing it's Pakistani. But yeah, this is the Pakistani flag. No, it's okay, but you're right though. It is similar. Okay. You think it's Algeria? I thought that was Pakistan's flag. Am I wrong? Let me try Pakistan. Nope. Oh my God, that was not Pakistan. Oh, you're right. I was wrong. It was Algeria. I'm a fool. I thought that was Pakistan's flag. I'm an idiot. Okay. You're right, though. It's similar. It was similar to Pakistan's flag, but I was really wrong. Okay. It was actually Algeria. And you know how I know that? Because the little flags are next to the names. So when I pulled up Pakistan, Algeria was right near it. You're right. I was completely mixing it up. I thought it was the Pakistani flag. Okay. So that's Algeria. Very good. Okay. That wasn't bad. We were off by one. Oh, right, Raccoon. I get one flag wrong, and I'm a red-blooded American. Okay. Is this America? This could be. This could be. Cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, parsley, lemon juice, olive oil, salt, pepper, mint, sumac. Yeah, this is pico de gallo. Pico de gallo. Pico de gallo, right? What do we think? But the cucumbers make it not pico de gallo, right? Pico de gallo. I can't pronounce. It could be South American, but where in South America? Yeah, there's optional mint and sumac. I don't know, or is this like Greek or something? Hmm. It is not the same, Alyssa. Mexico? God, I don't know. It kind of has a Mediterranean feel and also a South American feel. Uh, yeah, right, Meowzor. I feel like Mediterranean. Iran, you think so? How about I'm gonna say Greece, guys. I'm gonna say Greece. We'll see how close that is. I know no one has said Greece, but Warm. Okay, so it is, we are, okay, and then it says next to it, so it's somewhere between the northeast and south of Greece. All right, so it might be, so it's to the northeast, to the east or south of Greece, okay? Lebanon, maybe? Lebanon? Oh, really? Other people said Greece? My error. I honestly didn't see that. Okay, so let's let's go down. Let's try Lebanon. I'm gonna say Lebanon. I don't know if anyone else did. Lebanon. Still warm. God, we're getting closer, it looks like. We are getting closer. Yeah, but it's not because it says it's to the east or south of Lebanon. You think Turkey? I'll try Turkey. I don't think so, but we'll try. It might be. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Oh, it borders Turkey. It borders Turkey, but it is not Turkey. To the south or east of Turkey, maybe it's Syria. Do we think it's Syria? Do we think it's Syria? Um, hmm. It could be Jordan. We have 2 guesses left. I'll try Syria and then I'll try Jordan. Oof, still okay, it's to the south or the east. Oh, god damn. It borders Turkey. Ah. I guess, well, I don't know. Yeah. Jesus. It borders Turkey, but it's not Syria. It could be Georgia. It could be Bulgaria, but no, it can't be Bulgaria because it says here it's to the east or south or east of Turkey. Um, this is really hard. Well, I guess you're right. You could be right. Iran or Iran. It could be Iran, but I don't know. Do we really think it's Iran? I don't like. Does I don't think. Does Turkey border Iran? There might be a little border there. I'm guessing. Uh, but like I don't. Hmm. Let's try. Oh, God. Ah. Yeah, let's try. I'm not really quite sure. It could be Azerbaijan. I'm gonna try. Let's just do it. I'm gonna try. Give me a second here. I'm gonna look up a map just to make sure that because this isn't really cheating since we're trying to figure out a food. The I don't think there's a border there between. No, there is. There absolutely is a border. It could be Iran. I'm gonna go with Iran. I'm gonna go with Iran because there is. I forgot that there is in fact a border there with Iran. Iran. So let me. Oh, so we'll do Iran. Yep. Oh my God. I should have listened. I should have listened to Retro Asher. I should have listened to Retro Asher. Thank you. Was it Retro Asher that said that originally? Retro Asher, you're my savior, and I should have listened to you before. And please forgive me for ignoring you like an asshole. But you were right, Retro Asher. Okay, you win, Retro Asher. Everyone praise Retro Asher like the god he, her, they are. Okay. Okay. Or don't, because that might be against your religion. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't think so in your groove. All right. How Alyssa? How dare you? How dare you, Alyssa? All right. Okay. So we got next round here. That was a hard one. We already saw this one. It's Germany. We already saw this one, but I'll take the free points because I like free points. So we'll do. We already saw this one. Germany. Okay. Next. Next. Oh. Okay. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. This one is red peppers, salted cod, olive oil, garlic, black olives, onion, tomato. Okay. To make this dish, start by roasting red bell peppers until charred, then peel and slice them. Shred salt cod and soak it to remove excess salt. Mix the peppers and cod with thinly sliced garlic, olive oil, and sprinkle of black olives. Let the mixture marinate for a few hours to meld flavors. Serve chilled, accompanied by crusty bread. Me too in your groove. The cod is throwing me off. The cod is throwing me off. That's kind of an Atlantic thing, a cod from the northern Atlantic and shit. You think Portugal? It could be Portugal. There's some other pictures of it, folks. Like there's this picture. But like the olives make me think Italy. Balkans, Greece. I'm going to try, let's see how close Portugal is. Let's try Portugal and then we'll see how close that is. Portugal. It borders it. Okay, well that gives it away. It's Spain. It has to be Spain, right? If it borders Portugal. Yep, it's Spain. Okay. Raccoon Boyo, the Carthaginians don't exist. They were destroyed, Raccoon Boyo, because of Rome's superiority. Okay, I'm just kidding. They were not superior, but anyway. But the Carthaginians are really cool. I got to tell you. Okay. I'm being a dick, Raccoon Boyo. All right. So it's called escarret. Escarret. Escarret is a traditional Spanish dish from Valencia. Okay, so that's the eastern side of Spain. So it makes sense why we thought Italy and things like that. A lot of connection. It's a working. It originated as a working class dish. No, 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 no. Okay. All right. Yeah, there you go, Rack and Boil. Utilizing preserved ingredients like salted cod, over time it became a popular appetizer. As always, the poor create it and then the rich take it and turn it into their own. We're going to say yum, even though I don't know if I'd like it. Next round. Is it legal to show the contents of Stephen Miller's heart on a food thing? Or let's put it this way. I didn't think a soul could have a physical form. And Stephen Miller's soul on a plate is rather bizarre. Okay, so let's see here. This is tuna, water, salt, chili, garlic, coconut milk, curry leaves. Okay, right. I think it's America. This has to be the soul of Stephen Miller. That's my opinion. So yeah, that's a good point, Yona. To assume that he even has a soul or a heart is funny. So this dish is a thick brown fish paste. Okay, made by slowly simmering tuna until it develops a concentrated, rich flavor. It is often enjoyed as a staple accompaniment to rice or bread, providing a robust, savory essence. The preparation involves cooking fish with a blend of onions, garlic, chili peppers, and curry leaves, allowing the mixture to reduce into a dense, flavorful condiment commonly used in daily meals. I don't know, guys. Is it like Norwegian or something? So you think Meowsword? You think you're right, though, Meowsword. It feels Indian. I kind of am siding with Meowsword here. Yeah, I think Southeast Asia. What did you guess, Meowsword? Thai. Let's try Thai. Fish paste is super common in Southeast Asia and East Asia, really everywhere. Okay, let's try. Cool. Okay, we're very close. It's to the west of Thailand. So let's try India next, I guess. Let's try India. Someone else said India. Warm. We're getting closer. To the west or south of India? It's to the south or west of India. South or west of India? I mean, what is it, Sri Lanka? We think Bangladesh, but it's to the south or west of India. Yeah, the Maldives? Oman? It could be Oman. But isn't Oman a bit not that south? Okay. It could also be a little bit to the south of a little bit to the southeast of India. This is hard. This is very hard. Let's try. It might be penguin vomit. So it's we're warm. I'm gonna try Sri Lanka. I could be wrong. Sri Lanka, because that's the one that I hot. Oh, we're very close. Okay, that's even closer. We got 2 more guesses. What? Okay, is it the Maldives Islands or something? I don't think it will be. I don't think it can be. Sri Lanka's even closer. The Maldives are right here. Eh. Yeah, you know what? Let's try. It could be that. It could also. Let's try the Maldives. So I thought the Maldives was a little bit. Well, okay. Let's try. That'd be really funny if it was the Maldives. Yeah. Oh my God. It is. It totally is the Maldives. Rihakuru. Rihakuru. Traditional Maldivian fish-based dish. It is a thick, concentrated paste made primarily from tuna. Hmm. Hmm. The dish is a staple in the Maldivian households and holds significant cultural importance. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, I learned something new. I learn something new every day. Just learn something new every day. I've never heard of that dish before. I don't think I've ever heard of any dish from the Maldives before. Okay. Well, we got downgraded to super foodie from gastronomical genius to super foodie. Whatever. It's okay. That was a tough one. Jesus Christ. Okay. Rihaktua. Jesus raccoon. All right. Okay, guys. I'm going to put my face up here. Boop. Oh yeah, me too, Retro Asher. But I could not believe it would be the Maldives. I'm like, they wouldn't put a Maldivian dish. No one knows Maldivian dishes, but alas, they did, and I was wrong. Okay. All right, you guys. So we have reached the end of our time together today. We have reached the end, have we not? And hopefully the food shit cheered everyone up a bit after the horrors we had to experience early on in the stream. I think I did better today, folks. I had a lot fewer ums and uhs than previously. Everyone should give me a shout out. Because you all, well, shit, I just did, but whatever. You should all give me a shout out and say I'm the best. All right. So, on that note, thank you everyone for watching. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We shall come back tomorrow, or I shall come back tomorrow. Thank you, Oh, thank you, Alyssa. Are you sick, Alyssa? That's weird. I've never heard Alyssa say one kind word to me before. Are you ill, Alyssa? Everyone, make sure Alyssa's okay. All right. She just gave me a compliment. I don't know. Maybe she's about to follow it up with a scathing insult. Okay. All right. So tomorrow's Tuesday. I will come back on tomorrow. Doug, you're also a liar. Okay. You are a liar. All right. Baby steps turn to long strides. Good job, CR. Thank you, Jonas. Oh my God. I believe Jonas. I believe Jonas. And then, of course, Jonas follows it up with an insult of my Kahoot. You know, Jonas, I'll ignore that second part and I'll just say thank you, Jonas. I believe Jonas. If you were the best, we wouldn't not be downgraded to super foodie. Luke, you know what, Luke? Luke. By the way, folks, Luke got a 120% on your project for the semester. Luke just completed a class and had to do a project that I guess was sort of a final, and he got 120% on it. So everyone should give Luke a shout out if you have a moment on the Discord. Real great job Luke did. Did really some cool stuff. All right. So I'm sorry. Well, I can't even get that right, Luke. 112%. All right. Yeah, you should ban. All right. So thank you, Alyssa, for being an obedient to the authority figure. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew. And Sir Bartholomew, I believe that 100%, and I don't think you were coerced at all into saying that, Sir Bartholomew, right? Right, Sir Bartholomew? You weren't coerced at all, right? At least you wouldn't say that if asked, right, Sir Bartholomew? All right, guys. So let's I'm going to go now, but I'll see you all tomorrow. So first of all, you all know what I'm about to say. You all know what I'm about to say. First of all, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. And that includes when you watch me. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo, because the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Thirdly, we're living in a fascist moment in this country, not only in this country, but in other countries around the world. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions, so they turn to more radical means. In order to combat this, we need some major reforms. We need major reforms in this country. We do. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you. Please don't be a slug. Please. Maybe be a bit more Machiavellian. At least our politicians that are supposed to be representing us should be more Machiavellian if it comes to what we want, right? Anyway, don't be a slug. You can't stand in the center when there's fascism. On the wall behind me is a sword. It's been passed down in my family for many generations. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today. Some of the rights we have, some of the gains we've made in civil rights, etc. Okay? We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. Please, please, please do not let their sacrifice go to waste. And always, always, always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, yes, Retro Asher, I have 2 swords back there. The other one is a rapier. No, the other one is a rapier. I've actually shown it on stream a few times before. That one is not an original. So the rapier is not an historic sword. The other one is. The Chainbreaker is actually a sword from the Civil War. The rapier is not. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll show it again on stream sometime. So, all right. You are the Oscar Wilde of our generation on vibes alone. Thank you, Raccoon. Thank you. Thanks, Raccoon Boyo. Thanks, Raccoon Boyo. I think you know how much I take that as a compliment. I love Oscar Wilde. Now, he had some issues ideologically I disagree with, but he was kind of a jester of writing in a way. I approve deeply. I think it was funny. Oscar Wilde, by the way, I know I just said I'd get off, but Oscar Wilde was an American author and he was gay. And his last words were something like, he hated he thought the wallpaper in his room was dreadful. So like his last words were something like, "Oh, this wallpaper is dreadful." Like his last words were just trolling the person's house he was in and saying how their wallpaper was bad. Anyway, it was something like that. I don't remember. Regardless, now I want to be like that. I'm not like that, but Okay. All right, you guys. You'll have a good day, morning, evening, night, wherever you may be in the world. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. We have a great growing community on there. If you haven't joined our Discord, I highly recommend it. As a matter of fact, before I leave, I'm going to just quickly, I'm stalling here leaving. I don't know why, but I'm going to put the Discord link up here for anyone who wants to join. I'm putting it in the chat for those who want it. There you go. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. We have a very fast-growing community on there. We already have over 150 people in the community. We're trying to see it grow. Thank you, everyone who donated today. It's very helpful, helping me to continue doing this. And on that note, folks, I love you all very much. Thank you for all your support. I really do. I treasure each and every one of you, okay? All right. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.